Glass four-door Regal from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America and beyond.
As the sun breaks through, Notre Dame takes the field on Saturday afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium, and the renewal of a great rivalry between the Irish and the Boilermakers of Purdue. Lou Holtz this week feels for the first time all fall that his team has really strung together some good practices, and he fully expects Notre Dame's going to play well today.
Well, that's exactly what he told us yesterday. In fact, he was pretty loose in the office. Ted and I had about an hour conversation, and we'll talk about that conversation more in depth at halftime. And I tell you, he said, mark it down, we will play better. But, of course, you look at who they played in the first two games to come out of they're 2-0. I know they're happy to be in that situation right now. As we take a look now at Freddie Akers over there looking for probably his biggest win if he could pull it off, Ted.
57 degrees at kickoff. It's a beautiful day. The wind should not be much of a factor. Rain yesterday here at Notre Dame, but the field was covered by a tarp, so it is in good shape, and it's pretty much a perfect September football afternoon. We have a split crew of officials. The referee is Al Hines from the Independence Association. The rest of the crew split between Independence and the Big Ten.
They've already had the coin toss. Notre Dame won the toss and deferred to the second half, so Purdue will receive. And we're going to get a look right away at their fine young sophomore quarterback, Eric Hunter. He's got great size, Teddy. He throws the football. He ranks very high in the NCAA statistics. He's thrown for 528 yards in the first two contests, 6 touchdowns, and no interceptions. There he is right there, Eric Hunter.
Notre Dame saw him one play last year as a freshman at West Lafayette. He fumbled the center snap.
Well, he's not fumbling this year. In fact, some of the film we looked at against Indiana State, I thought he was quite fortunate. He had a few interceptions. Indiana State had a lot of chances to intercept the football, but dropped them. But anyway, that absolutely does not show on his record. No interceptions and 6 touchdown passes already.
This is kind of the way you remember Notre Dame Stadium, right, Paul? Sunshine, cool weather, no lights.
Perfect, no lights. I tell you, night games here have been tough. I know Coach Holtz, the players don't like it. The school does not like those night games. Too many of the fans drive from all over the country, and especially parts of the Midwest, and have to go back at 3 or 4 in the morning. They like these games exactly how it is right here.
It's been a long time since Purdue has won here at Notre Dame Stadium. 16 years ago, Ara Parseghian's final year at Notre Dame. The last time Purdue won here. Craig Hentrick approaches the ball. He drives it deep to Jimmy Young. 9 yards deep in the end zone, and Purdue will start at the 20-yard line. Purdue defeated the Irish in successive years in the mid-'80s with Jim Everett as their quarterback, once at the Hoosier Dome and once at West Lafayette.
And Purdue University, Ted, could almost be called Chicago University. 28 athletes off this Purdue team hail from Chicago and the outlining areas.
And don't blink much when they have the ball. They throw it a lot. 4 receivers on almost every play. As Hunter now is going to try a draw play, and for Tony Vincent, the running back is brought right down by Chris Zorich. And just the way Chris Zorich played in a dominant game last week.
We talk about speed off the football. There he is, the nose tackle. All-American Chris Zorich. He beats the center, Bob Dressel. And he's got Tony Vincent.
And almost got the football.
Great defensive play. They're going to have to stop him off the football. He's very quick off the football. There you see him line up at that nose guard, Ted.
Man in motion, 3 receivers left for Purdue on 2nd and 16. Hunter throwing it, and it is caught. No, out of bounds is Curtis McManus in front of the Purdue fans, so it's an incompletion. It'll be 3rd down. Jason Sigelski, the right guard there, he's a Notre Dame transfer. If there's a question mark, it's the left tackle, Denny Chronopoulos. And you see only one running back behind Hunter. It will be Tony Vincent most of the time. Purdue has only used a tight end on 2 plays in its first 2 games. Now they operate 3rd and 16 from their 14-yard line. Hunter using that good speed to roll out. Now he's got to put the football down, and he'll be run out of bounds. Chasing was Bob Dahl. And Hunter goes out shy of the 20, and Purdue goes 3 downs and out.
Play was designed to get outside and give him an option either to run the football or try to pick up the first down. Way short. Here comes the punt. We take another look. Now watch Hunter. It's a very quick rollout that's designed to get Hunter to the outside. Nobody's open downfield. He tries to pick it up. He's got good speed, but not that good.
And now for one of the few times this year, somebody's going to have to kick the ball to the Rocket. Eric Kroon is the Purdue punter. The left footer, and he almost had it blocked. It was deflected. The punt was deflected by a Notre Dame player. And it is down about the 45-yard line. It was Clint Johnson on special teams who got through to partially deflect that punt. And Notre Dame will take over in great field position. No score early in the first quarter. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head and Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head and Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head and Shoulders, Denorex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
And now you can prove to yourself that Blue is better with free Selsun Blue. Because for the first time ever, when you buy one 7-ounce bottle of any formula Selsun Blue, you get one free. Doctor recommended Selsun Blue. Blue is better, and for a limited time, Blue is free.
In an accident and you have Allstate insurance, you can leave it in our hands. Allstate's recommended pro shops can do everything, including the estimate, in one stop. And to make you feel even better, Allstate will guarantee their workmanship for as long as you own your car. Well, that's the news. Now, be careful. You're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Let's take a look at the block punt. It'll come from the kicker's right side. He's a left-footed kicker, Eric Bruin, a little slow getting it off. Clint Johnson, a freshman from Altamonte Springs, Florida, gets in and gets his hands on it, and it was deflected. Notre Dame in great field position at Purdue's 42.
The punt travels just 24 yards, and Rick Meyer brings the Irish up. Notre Dame has played very well in the first quarters of its games this year and been dominant in the fourth quarters. Here's Tony Brooks starting today at tailback, and he's hit for a loss by Frank Hamet on the Purdue defensive front.
Well, the theory is that Notre Dame will try to establish a running attack today. They want to try to put some yards with those running backs. As we get Sean Davis checked right into that Notre Dame outfit. He'll play the slot. Trips left setup right here, Ted.
Tony Brooks starting today instead of Ricky Waters. And here's Brooks running on the little counter handoff. Nice hole up the middle, and Brooks to the 37-yard line.
Picked up about 8. A little twist off the wing here. Tony Brooks lined up outside the left tackle. You see Gene McGuire pulling. He gets a pretty good block on the inside. Good hole up in the middle of that Purdue defense as Tony Brooks picks up 8. 3rd and 3.5.
36-yard line, the line of scrimmage, and Meyer gives to Brooks again. That's a first down for the Irish as Tony Brooks, getting his first chance to start this year, is to the 30-yard line for a first down. And there's that defensive line. Last year they didn't put up much of a challenge to Notre Dame, Paul, but this year they feel they're better.
They feel they're a lot better. They've got a great secondary. They call it the Texas Posse. I don't think you've ever seen a Big Ten team start 4 defensive backs, all from Texas. And they're good ones. They're a good secondary in the back. But up front is where Purdue's got to stop Notre Dame.
Rodney Culver, good leg drive. As you see, Culver got hit initially, but he kept the legs pumping and took a couple of tacklers forward for a few yards.
There it is, straight up the middle. That's number 5, Rodney Culver, who is leading this Notre Dame team in rushing so far. He's got 134 yards already, 2 touchdowns, averaging over 4 yards a pop. Rodney Culver from Detroit.
Now the Rocket is slotted left. Ball goes to Waters, first carry. And Waters looked like he ran over his own man there. Might have bumped into Tim Ryan. And Waters going down for a loss of a yard.
Blocking on the right side, broke down over there. Justin Hall and Mirko Jerkovic, the right tackle and right guard for Notre Dame, going up against Frank Komet and Jeff Skanina. Jeff Skanina, an all Big Ten selection on the inside. Very good defensive tackle. He'll move over and play on the nose on occasion.
Now Notre Dame with 3 men left on 3rd down, and Meyer rolling.
He can run it.
Throwing. Defender went down, receiver went down, no flags, and the ball goes out of bounds as the Rockets slipped and fell.
He was wide open. I think he had 2 decisions to make here. Rick Meyer, I think, could have picked up the first down had he decided to run the football there, but he saw the Rocket. He was open, but he slipped just as Rick released the football.
So Notre Dame gets 1 first down, then is stopped, and Craig Hendrick will try a 44-yard field goal out of the hold of Jim Sexton. Near hash mark, kick on the way, and it is good. Sophomore Craig Hendrick with an incredibly strong leg puts a 44-yarder through with ease. And after 3.5 minutes, the Irish on the board. It's Notre Dame 3, Purdue nothing. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages.
Introducing the Sharp 12 times Jet Zoom camcorder. Most camcorders stop here, but only Sharp's exclusive Jet Zoom camcorder zooms this close, this fast, with cat's eye optics for low light shooting. Unlike those little camcorders, it's easy to replay your videos. Just pop in the VHS cassette. No messy wires, no complicated adapters. Nobody gets you closer faster. The Sharp Jet Zoom camcorder.
From the highest form of professional racing
I'm trying to make my race car better than anybody else's.
to the weekend amateur,
I want a horsepower advantage. I want to win races.
from the great mechanics of today
We're professionals and we're perfectionists.
to the great mechanics of tomorrow.
You have to really work hard to become what you want to be.
People who know use
Valvoline.
Valvoline.
Valvoline. We use Valvoline.
people who know use Valvoline.
Sports Channel America is the home of the 7-day sports weekend. We've got the gridiron covered with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Canadian Football League. The Icemen reign supreme with our exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League, the U.S. Olympic Showcase, High School Game of the Week, Speedway Sunday, the Pro Boxing Tour, and much more. Sizzling professional and amateur sports 365 days a year. The 7-day sports weekend is here, only on the Sports Channel America Network.
Brett Akers in his 10 years in Texas won 86 ball games, and he had a lot of hookups with Lou Holtz. He's 0 for 3 with Holtz since this series has started with the 2 men as the coach. And Notre Dame on the board first is Hendrick, who's had a little bit of a inconsistent start, boots through his first field goal of the year. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of Sports Channel America, intended for the private use of our audience. Any publication or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the consent of Sports Channel America is prohibited. Now Hendrick, this kickoff will be in play. Jimmy Young just shy of the 10-yard line. Ooh, got wide by 1 man. Is going to turn the corner. And Young runs it out to the 38-yard line. A little exuberance there by freshman Anthony Peterson, who's normally the first man downfield on the kick coverage. He got caught inside a bit. Jimmy Young got outside and runs it out near the 40-yard line.
29-yard return. John Covington forced him out of bounds as far as Notre Dame is concerned. Incidentally, Ted, that was Craig Hendrick's longest field goal so far here at Notre Dame, 44 yards. And he had a lot to spare, a lot of leg into that field goal.
That record won't last long.
No, sir. He'll kick him a lot longer than that before it's finished. Now, what Purdue has to do is we watch them line up in the run and shoot. They've got to start picking up some first downs and controlling the tempo a little bit better than that first series.
Hunter back with some
Great
time.
pass protection.
And he throws it long, and it's caught over the middle. That's a first down and maybe more. And Ernest Callaway all the way down to the 15-yard line of Notre Dame.
42-yard pickup. Boy, did he have a lot of time to throw the football, Ted. He stood right in that pocket with a lot of poise. Eric Hunter There's your run and shoot. The fullback helps out in here to block, and they're triple teaming Zorich over the middle. Look at this pitch. He just threw it off the wrong foot. He just hung a great arm there. We see Andre Jones knock him out of bounds. Almost knocked him out. Then he got help from Greg Davis. 42-yard pickup.
Ernest Callaway, a sophomore from Marrero, Louisiana, on the big gainer. It's first down at the Irish 14. Here's Hunter being pressured. Dumps it out in the flat, incomplete. He was being sacked by Zorich and got rid of the ball alertly for the incompletion.
Well, they triple-teamed him last time. This time they didn't triple-team him. Chris Zorich just causing that incompletion.
And Notre Dame on the long pass play only rushed 3 men. So Zorich can be triple-teamed.
Exactly. And I think you're going to see at least 2 men go after Zorich. We take a look at the defensive line. Cole Wachowski, Dahl Zorich, George Williams, and Andre Jones. And a very young secondary, Ted.
They make another change. George Foreman not starting today. Tom Carter, another true freshman, is back there. So 2 true freshmen in the defensive secondary, Lane and Carter for Notre Dame. Eric Hunter said he couldn't hear. The referee tells him to play football, and Hunter has to call a timeout, and the Purdue coaches are irate. And that is a new rule in college football this year. A new rule that the quarterback cannot get time from the referee unless the official feels that the interior lineman cannot hear. It used to be the wideouts. It's no longer the wideouts. If the interior lineman can hear, then the play must be run.
Well, what happens here? I didn't think it was too loud. What happens here? It's going to be louder this time for sure.
So Purdue is forced to call a timeout on second down and 10.
The best thing a quarterback can do under these circumstances when you get in hostile stadiums and the crowd is very, very loud is to call a quick count, go up, and just get the play underway as quickly as possible.
And the official does, we've only played 4 minutes of football. If he backs away, if Eric Hunter backs away from the line and gets a timeout, we'll be here 5 hours today trying to play a football game. But that is a new rule. It used to be if the wide receivers couldn't hear the signals, then the referee would give you the time.
Well, it does give me a little chance to talk about the quarterback situation at Purdue. How many great quarterbacks have we witnessed coming from Purdue University? Dawson, Bob Greasy. We talked a little about it. Mike Fitz, Gary Danielson, Mark Herman, Jim Everett. I mean, they have really put some great quarterbacks into the professional ranks.
And they had another one who got away, Jeff George.
Jeff George, exactly. We take a look at Freddie over on the sideline. Freddie Akers was criticized a little bit on his arrival at Purdue, but I think he's going to turn that around. You're going to see Purdue back on the winning team for not too long. 3-8 last year.
Second and 10. Hunter faking, bootlegging right, and he ran into his own man again, although he's being nipped on the heels by Devon McDonald. And Hunter goes down for, I believe, no gain.
Take a look. I don't know if this was designed or not. There you see the left guard. He's pulling. It's a little bootleg over to the right side, but it looks like he's trying to pass block. And then Hunter decides to run the football, and Devon McDonald was blocked, got up. Great second effort on the stop.
Well, he just pushed Larry Taylor, the left guard, just pushed him out of the way. And McDonald got him. So it's third and 10 at the Irish 14. Notre Dame leading 3-0 early first quarter. Jimmy Young in motion, 3 men left. And Hunter with time, throwing it, and it is incomplete. Rodney Dennis, 81, is the big receiver for Purdue. He was the intended man. Greg Lane, 33 on the coverage for the Irish, and it will be fourth down.
Well, I tell you, Greg Lane was licking his chops right there. The ball was overthrown, and all Greg Lane had to do was a little bit lower. That was a 95-yard interception return. I mean, nobody was out there.
So now Purdue will go for a field goal try. They said this week they were going to change place kickers, but they do not, as Larry Sullivan comes out to attempt the kick. 31 yards from the far hash.
He was kicking great in practice. I saw him kick a few from 55.
He's missed some easy ones early, but this one is through. So Sullivan good from 31 yards, and that ties the football game. So the Boilermakers with a good drive answering Notre Dame's field goal. 10:09 to play in the first quarter, and we are tied. Purdue 3, Notre Dame 3. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages.
color.
I got a meter.
Down, boy.
Well, it's now or never.
Attention, shoppers. You're at a romantic dinner at her place. Candlelight, wine, something with a little spinach in it. And for dessert,
Come on.
humble pie. If she sees your dandruff.
I don't have dandruff.
Fine. Use your regular shampoo.
I can't have dandruff.
Aisle 9.
You mean you use Head and Shoulders?
Yeah.
But you don't have dandruff.
Right. Neither will she.
Head and Shoulders.
Hi.
Because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Purdue on the 31-yard field goal by Larry Sullivan, tying the game at 3. We've just played 5 minutes. Big play, the long pass to Callaway that set it up. Sports Channel America presenting primetime ringside excitement. 4 hours of nonstop action on feet, fists, and fury in the UWF. Then it's the fiery rage of kickboxing on the Sports Cream Pro Boxing Tour. It all begins and premieres Monday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Sports Channel America. Check your listings for further details. Now, last week, George Burles would not kick the ball to the Rocket. Let's see how Fred Akers approaches it. The Rocket has only run 2 back this year. Womble to kick, and he'll boot it deep. The Rocket at the 5-yard line. Ooh, a flag goes down as he's dragged down on the legs about the 23-yard line.
It's thrown in the vicinity of Pete Bursich on the kick return, may be clipping.
And that's what it is. So the Irish will be backed up inside the 20-yard line to begin this possession.
Well, these are the kind of mistakes that the coaches hate, Ted. You know, pretty good field position.
Flipping, offense, throwing the run back. First down.
That we take a look. Penalty against Notre Dame back inside the 10.
So the one thing Notre Dame would like to do, and we saw it demonstrated with Hunter's big pass, they'd like to keep Hunter off the field. I feel the best way to do that today is run the football. And now backed up to their 9-yard line. We'll see how they play it. Waters is slotted left.
And that's the way Lou Holtz loves the tempo. He likes to control the tempo of the game. And you control it best by running the football, and that's his theory as we take a look at Mr. Culver. Doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, loses a couple and a little pitch to the left side.
There may be a little moisture, dampness on the field. It was covered during a hard rain yesterday, but sometimes that's still be moisture that will seep through and be on the top of the grass surface. We've already seen 2 players go down on cuts. And it's 2nd and 12 at the 7-yard line. Meyer swing pass to Waters, and he's down at the 1-yard line by Steve Jackson.
Well, Jackson coming up from his cornerback position there, read the screen beautifully. Tim Ryan couldn't get out. The left guard in time to make the block, and Notre Dame is pushed back. That was almost a safety.
This barely gets out of the end zone.
There's Tim Ryan, number 52, as we take a look. Watch number 1, Steve Johnson. He comes up from the outside, senior out of Houston, and he is a good one.
That ball's marked only a foot across the goal line. 3rd down and 18 for the Irish. Meyer's going to have to get rid of it. Oh, he got out of trouble. Now we'll have to run it. And Meyer is up to the 15, and Meyer scrambles out of the end zone for a first down.
How about that? Rick Meyer can run the football. And ironically, when you talk to Lou Holtz, he says, you wouldn't believe it, he is faster than Tony Rice. And of course, he shows a little magic here as he gets around to the left side. He's trying to find a receiver, and Rick takes it upfield, north-south, and it's very close. They're going to measure here, and I think he's got it.
He has it. It's out at the 22-yard line. There is a Purdue player injured, and it's Tom McNeil, outside linebacker from Palatine, outside of Chicago. And McNeil is down, so Meyer running for 21 yards, but one of the interesting things that Lou Holtz told us yesterday that people may not realize about Rick Meyer prefers, he says, to throw on the run. He doesn't like to drop back and stay in the pocket.
I don't know, as good an arm as he has. You watch this kid warm up, you watch him throw the football. He's got a wonderful arm, and I think as the year progresses, I think what Lou Holtz has done the first couple of games is try to protect him from making mistakes with such big gains early. You'll see him drop back a little bit more often, I think, in the future.
Tony Brooks goes for good yardage. Jim Schwantz, another Purdue linebacker from Palatine, Illinois, making the tackle at the 28-yard line.
Again, Lou's thinking on Rick Meyer rolling out. It cuts down that opportunity for that interception. You drop back straight, going downfield over the middle a little bit. A few of those overthrown passes turning into interception. I think he's trying to protect Rick from making that mistake early in his career, and he's done that.
Now the officials blow play dead as Justin Hall, the right offensive tackle for Notre Dame, shaken up. And now he'll leave and be replaced by Lindsey Knapp. The two of them split time at that position. Justin Hall, maybe under his own power. So Notre Dame was 2nd down and 4 at their 28. 8 minutes to play in the first quarter of a 3-3 game. Brooks now is split left. Adrian Jarrell is in the game along with Tony Smith. They are split wide. And Culver runs it up inside for good yardage and a first down. 37-yard line. So Notre Dame moving the ball out from the shadow of the goal line. First down now at the 37.
10-yard burst by Rodney Culver. As I said, he's averaging over 5 yards a pop. He loves it back here when he's back there by himself in that trips setup. Have 3 wide receivers right. Most of your linebackers are playing pass in that formation, so Rodney's got an edge running the football.
Now out of the full house, the Rocket gets it. Look at the Rocket breaking a couple of tackles and turns what would have been a short yardage play into about a 5-yard gain. Matt Martin out of the secondary with the tackle for Purdue.
Let's go, dude! Full house backfield, a little pitch. Everybody's out in front. Culver's a very, very good blocker. As we see Derek Brown getting a good block, the big tight end. And the Rocket got about 5 and make it 4.
Now the Rocket is slotted left. Dorsey Levens in the backfield. This is his first appearance of the year, and he bursts through to midfield. Dorsey Levens, a sophomore from Syracuse who came out of spring football as the #1 tailback for Notre Dame. He was the MVP of the spring game. But Levens had a knee injury while he was running at home in the summertime. Arthroscopic knee surgery, and Lou Holtz says he's still not 100%.
Expect great things out of this kid. This kid, wonderful physique for a running back, 6'2", 6'2 and a half, about 220, and can run. Good speed.
Now it's the option. Levens inside the 35, and Notre Dame now running the football into Purdue territory.
And controlling the tempo of this game offensively. As Dorsey Levens will get a break here. We'll take an end zone shot. Here's the option. You see Rodney Culver out in front. Good block on the outside. Derek Brown, 16-yard pickup.
And Lou Holtz, in response to the question, why don't you throw more to Derek Brown, continues to point out last week Derek Brown blocked at Michigan State as well as he's ever seen him.
Well, he's 6'7", 250 pounds. This kid will probably be a #1 draft choice in the NFL. He's got great talent. If you remember, Derek Brown was the #1, I guess, rated kid coming out of high school in Merritt Island, Florida. Everybody wanted him.
And you know he will get thrown the football. It's a matter of time. Purdue has taken a defensive timeout here. 6:28 to play in the first quarter. Notre Dame driving, trying to break a 3-all tie. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these. 6:28 to play first quarter. Notre Dame was pushed back to its 1-foot line on this drive. Myers scrambled out for 21 yards to keep it alive. And now it is first down for Notre Dame at the Purdue 33. And it is Jerome Bettis, the freshman fullback out of Detroit, carrying for 3 yards. With Paul Horning, Ted Robinson live at Notre Dame Stadium. The first of 3 consecutive weeks here on Sports Channel America. Notre Dame football. We're tied at 3 in the first quarter.
Stanford next week. Air Force the 3rd week. They'll all be coming live. We'll be right here. And then, of course, the big matchup with Miami. everybody keeps talking about that game all over the campus.
Waters inside on 2nd and 7, and that will be near a first down. This drive now, after the first 2 plays, has developed into the type of offensive dominance Lou Holtz would like to see against Purdue. Just run it straight ahead. Leaving the field is Terry Johnson for Purdue, one of that Texas posse from Jefferson, Texas. Freddie Akers, of course, a lot of roots in Texas, came to Purdue, and that's fine. But as you mentioned earlier, Paul, for Purdue to reestablish its dominance in football, it's going to have to come from Chicago.
Well, as I said, they have 28, I guess, scholarship or walk-on football players from the Chicago area. And they take great pride in, combing the area, Hammond, Indiana, all the way north. They really have the basis of their football team out of Chicago. They've done a great job over the years getting kids out of Chicago, and will continue to do that.
First down, Notre Dame at the Purdue 23. 5.5 to go first quarter in a 3-all game. And it's the Rocket flag down. He is stopped for a short gain. Peyton Minter, 99 on that defensive front, made the hit. But the flag went down. Looks like one against Notre Dame, and it will be for holding.
Holding Notre Dame.
There have been some mistakes the Irish have made offensively in the first couple of games that Lou Holtz feels are uncommon mistakes that his teams have never made. They never had a punt blocked in his 5 years here until last week. They never had a 12-man on the field penalty in his 5 years here until the Michigan game. Little things that in and of themselves don't mean a lot, but added up he thinks become big things. And he's put a stop to that a lot this week.
He will give it 110% effort to do so, I'll tell you that. In fact, the players are all well aware of it. Every night before this football game, they have a special team meeting. They go over all the special teams play of their opponent and what they're trying to do on Friday night.
Pass off the hands of Irv Smith. Tight end. Sophomore Tom McNeil on the coverage, and so Notre Dame will have 3rd down, or check that, they will have 2nd down and 20 back at the 34-yard line. So 5:10 to go in the quarter. Notre Dame in a 3-all tie. They got stopped at the 26 of Purdue on their first possession.
And I notice now as the Rocket goes and lines up in the slot left, he'll be double covered over there, short and long. They're playing him short and long.
Meyer, time. Now he's going to run. He has some field and slides down at the 27-yard line. Well, Meyer picks up about 6 here, and Notre Dame will still have 3rd and long.
Out of that slot formation, I think the Notre Dame receivers must learn one thing, Ted. Now, right here, as Meyer goes back, it looks like everybody's covered. Now he gets loose. Now the receivers down the field do not go to the open spot. When a quarterback is trying to get out of trouble and he's scrambling to get outside, the receivers have got to help him out. They've got to try to move around, break off their pattern, and go to an open spot and signal to the quarterback that they're open. Give me the football. He had nowhere to go there.
Gene McGuire, the left guard for the Irish, hobbling off the field. Winston Sandry replaces him. The Irish had a lot of little nicks, both offensively and defensively, and some more this week in practice. McGuire was one of the players who had a little muscle problem during the week. Now it's 3 men right. The Rocket in the slot. 3rd and 15. And it's out to Culver. He's trapped and hit down. The play only picks up a few. And the Irish will have 4th down and long. And we'll have to turn to Craig Hentrick again.
3rd and 11. Everybody was covered downfield, and they just threw it out in the flat to Rodney Culver. Couldn't get the first down from there. Good coverage that time by the Purdue defense. As I said, this is a fine secondary that young Rick Meyer's going against. All seniors.
This will be 43 for Hentrick. And that one on the way is good. Just got it over the upright. And Hentrick from 44 and 43 yards here in the first quarter. And the Irish now lead 6-3 with 3:34 remaining in the first quarter. 3 points may seem a little bit of a disappointment, but remember where that drive started. It started at the 9-yard line.
Pushed back to the goal line almost, and then was kept alive by that great scramble by Rick Meyer out of his own end zone for 21 yards to keep the drive alive, put up that 3. Now Craig Hendrick is 2 out of 2 on the year. Well, he's got a good, strong leg. Both those field goals would have been good from over 50.
The length of that drive has to please Lou Holtz, who's really concerned about the offense of this football club.
And it's got to make Freddie Akers feel fairly good too, Ted, because here we are. We're almost down to the end of the first quarter, and Purdue, there's only been 4 possessions of football, and Purdue's got 3 points on the board. They only trail by 3, so psychologically, that's got to help Purdue at this time. They're big underdogs coming into this football game, and Purdue has proven that they can move the football upstairs against that Notre Dame defense.
Jimmy Young runs this from 2 yards deep. And he is up and stopped just shy of the 20-yard line. That's that good Notre Dame kick coverage. Brian Radigan down along with Reggie Brooks and Pete Bursich, all down on the kick coverage team. So it's Purdue starting at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10, 3:28 to play in the quarter.
So you got two very young football players playing on the corners. Reggie Brooks, only a sophomore, but this is his first year out there at cornerback. Rod Smith is in now, a junior from St. Paul, and we got Greg Lane, a freshman.
There's a give to Vincent. Michael Stonebreaker, who was a questionable participant today, but Michael Stonebreaker charging in to make the hit. Stonebreaker pulled a groin muscle in practice Tuesday, and is fine to play.
I had dinner with his father last night. Steve Stonebreaker's up here from New Orleans. Look at this hit. That's Michael, who is leading Notre Dame in tackles with 24. Very, very quick on the inside. We take a look at Stonebreaker there, the ISO on him. He's got great speed, and what a great comeback from that car accident. He's playing almost 98%.
Here's a toss. Good grab by Rodney Dennis. And that's a first down across the 40. He's the big play receiver, a sophomore from Hammond, Indiana. They averaged 24 yards a catch last year, 36 a catch this year.
And this one was good for 23 yards. He scores about once every 3 catches. That's a phenomenal ratio. Career, he has caught 25 catches, 8 touchdowns. Rodney Dennis, the sophomore out of Hammond, Indiana, and he's just getting started.
First down, Purdue at their 43-yard line. And Tony Vincent gets the ball, nothing. Bob Dahl on the hit. And there has been nothing on those rare handoffs to the lone back in the run and shoot.
That's just to keep everything honest here. They pull the guard and tackle, and Bob Dahl gets on the inside and makes the stop. But if you're looking at Notre Dame defense on the film as Purdue did all week, you're looking at a team that's given up 756 yards, 370 by the rush, and 386 by the pass in their first 2 games. So, this offense at Purdue has got to be a little confident coming in. They know they can move the football against this team. Look at this kid's arm.
Oh, Hunter just puts up a laundry line. He threw a line shot that went way over McManus's head. Greg Lane on the coverage.
You know who he looks a little like? He looks a little like Randall Cunningham, doesn't he?
Well, that's what they call him. They call him Young Randall on this team.
I tell you, he's got a great arm. He's 6'4", and he stands real tall in that pocket. Look at this release. He's just a little over his receiver here. The receiver was wide open about the 37-yard line. That was a deep turn-in pattern. You'll see that again. He was open.
Now the Irish go to 6 defensive backs. 6 DBs in on 3rd and 11 for Purdue. Stonebreaker, the only linebacker. He'll drop in coverage, and Hunter going to be flushed out. Got by Zorich. He's getting outside, and then Stonebreaker runs him down, short of the 50 and short of a first down. So Hunter, against the 6 DBs, could not find anybody.
Most defenses hate to go against a guy like this, Ted. All afternoon. Of course, it's early in the first half, and Here's Eric Hunter doing what he can do. He can scramble the football, but you tire the defense out over a period of time. About the fourth quarter, these defensive guys are going to be saying, wow, you know, we're running all over the field trying to catch up with this guy.
Here's Broom, the left footer, to punt it, and the Rocket will catch this on the run. Outside, just got caught by the shoes. And he was tripped up by Kelly Turner, number 83, and that just prevented the big run back by the Rocket.
Every time this man touches the football, Ted, I've said it before, he reminds me of Gale Sayers. Every time Sayers would touch the football, you'd almost have anxious moments that he was going to score. And everybody in the stands here at Notre Dame, when this kid gets a hold of the football, it's almost, well, he might make it. Is he going to break it? I mean, he has that ability. He's an exciting football player.
Here's Meyer on first down. Meyer throwing it, caught by Brown. Derek Brown inside the 30-yard line of Purdue. Very close for Meyer to being beyond the line of scrimmage, but he was just on the right side.
He was. What a good move here by Meyer. I tell you, this was a secondary receiver. He was trying to get it to the Rocket on the outside. Now watch this very quick release running to his left. There's the big tight end, the All-American tight end. I tell you, this guy can run, as we can see here. That's only his third catch of the year.
Somebody made a mistake there. They're trying to tackle Brown up high. You've got to go downstairs on him. He's too big and too strong. Culver goes to the 25-yard line.
What was that, 51 yards on that reception by Derek?
2 yards on the run by Culver. It's 2nd and 8, and that will end the first quarter. So Notre Dame on the big pass from Meyer to Derek Brown in good position again. After one quarter, Notre Dame 6, Purdue 3. We pause now for a regional break. Derek Brown, the Irish tight end, setting Notre Dame up in Purdue territory as we start the second quarter. 6-3 Notre Dame. And the Irish with 2nd and 8 just inside the Purdue 25. Levens is slotted left. Meyer's going that way and throwing it. Lake Dawson, the freshman. And he is out at the 15, and that's a first down.
That's his second catch of the year. Of course, the first one was very big against Michigan. That deflected pass for 45 yards. We take a look at Lake Dawson, the freshman from Federal Way, Washington, as Rick Meyer rolls out to his left. Right on the money. Fourth completed pass of the day. 4 out of 6 now.
It's pretty tough for a freshman to walk into a team as talented as Notre Dame and make an impact, but Lake Dawson did it. He's the one man who has done it. Rodney Culver. Inside gains a few. Culver getting it down near the 10. Time of possession there is what's going to please Lou Holtz.
Exactly, and that's his way, to control the tempo of the football game. That's what he wants.
The one thing
they're looking for 7 here. You know, if it comes up here, 10, 4th and a yard, 4th and a yard and a half, I think you'll see Lou go ahead with it. They need 7.
2nd and 7 option. Meyer keeps it. Meyer cutting back.
What a run.
Down Notre Dame.
What a beautiful run off the left side, the option. He goes 12 yards, and what a juke. About the 5-yard line, he cut back to right. Rick Meyer for his second touchdown of the year.
Well, is Lou Holtz going to love to see that? Yes, he still can run the option.
They were kind of worried about this kid running the option. If he runs it like this, you're going to see a lot more of it in the Notre Dame attack. Rick Meyer, 12 yards, second touchdown of the year. Notre Dame's first this afternoon.
And the extra point by Hentrick is good, so just 45 seconds into the second quarter. And the Irish close out a 66-yard drive with Myers scoring.
Here it is, counter option, faked off the right side, and Rick Meyer did the rest. 12 yards. He cut back over the inside of Nat Martin.
Second touchdown for Meyer. It's 13-3 Notre Dame. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages. Now leading with 14:15 to go in the first half. That drive was one big play, the long pass, catch, and run to Derek Brown, and then Notre Dame ran the ball in once they got it established in Purdue territory. The National Hockey League opening up on Sports Channel America this week, Thursday night, with a doubleheader. Regional action. In the first game, you'll see either Detroit and New Jersey or Quebec and Hartford. Then in the second game, the New York Islanders and the Los Angeles Kings. The season opener of the NHL Thursday, live on Sports Channel America. Here's Hendrick now to kick off. The 13-3 Notre Dame lead. And this is Young, about 2 yards deep. He'll bring it out again. Oh, look at that great kick coverage by Notre Dame. Just outstanding. Bryant Young, 97.
And he's only a freshman. Tackles Young, who was very tentative coming out of the end zone. What he looked like he was kind of relaxing here. Look at this. He gets about the 10-yard line. Now he just kind of slows up. Oh, Versis was right there, and then Young really put the wood to him.
And that's a young man, Bryant Young. He's a linebacker that Lou Holtz, another one of the freshmen who's made an impact. So you can see when a kid loves to play on kick coverage. Right. He has that look in his eyes. He loves to run down the field.
That other one you're talking about is Anthony Peterson. We'll see a little bit more of him later.
Hunter fires it out to Young, and Young gets to about the 20-yard line before he's spun back by Andre Jones.
Purdue's got to go for first downs here. If we take a look at the Notre Dame scoring summary, Purdue's got to control the football a little offensively now and to get their offense into this game instead of, a first down and then maybe being forced to punt. They need a good sustained drive here. Maybe put at least 3 points on the board. Get it back within a touchdown.
Second down and 5. Ernest Callaway in motion to the right side. 3 men there. Hunter, we're going to throw it out here to Callaway. And he puts some moves on the sideline and has a first down as he got by Greg Davis and runs it out to the 30-yard line where Greg Lane, 33, runs him out.
All 4 of these receivers for Purdue have good moves. We take a look at Callaway here. He's 5'8", Mario, Louisiana. Take a look. He gets by Greg Davis here with the good move right down the sideline here. He's got to protect the sideline. Greg Davis just didn't make a quick enough move to get him out of bounds. He had him cornered, but it's just a good move by Callaway.
And the Boilermakers with a first down at their own 28. Hunter keeping his back end to block. Notre Dame rushing 4. Look at this pass all the way across the field, and it is caught. Oh, what a great catch by Dunyasha Yetz, who stole the ball from Greg Lane at the Notre Dame 40-yard line.
I tell you, Greg Lane, it looked like he had an interception, but Dunyasha Yetz, he's only 5'5". There he is, 160 pounds. What a catch. Yetz was just a very determined young man here to come up with this football, Ted. He was not to be denied. Watch this. Boy, that was interception all the way, but Yetz would have nothing of that.
He just stole it from Greg Lane, so it's first down at the Notre Dame 40. Hunter, Eric Jones on the pressure. And now Hunter throws it back across the field. That is caught by Young, and he's tripped up and brought down by Reggie Brooks at the 35, and all that running around and scrambling, and play is good for about 5 yards. And you're right, Notre Dame's going to be bringing a lot of different defensive people in.
Exactly, Ted, and I think Lou Holtz knows exactly what a quarterback like this can do. He can tire out your defense, and he is putting wholesale substitutions in almost every play to counter that against Eric Hunter.
Second down, call it 6 at the Irish 35. Give the ball to Vincent. That's the first time he's got running room, and Vincent has a first down inside the Notre Dame 25.
But if you're a running back, you've got to love to play in the run and shoot. The reason for that is that they throw the football so much that when they do hand the football off there, you look how much of a soft defense they're running against. There's only 3 defensive linemen there, and the linebackers are 7 or 8 yards deep. So Vincent gets the first down.
George Foreman made a fine hit.
This is what Freddie Akers needs, too. He needs a sustained drive, what we were talking about, to control the football a little bit.
Here's Hunter on first down. George Williams chasing. Hunter orchestrating. And he runs solidly into and over Lane at the 22-yard line.
I tell you don't see a quarterback do this too much. He put his left shoulder down and took him on. And I don't care if he is a lot bigger than Greg Lang. Quarterbacks don't have this much. You know, look at this contact. He wants to hit somebody right here. You can see it. Normally a quarterback's just going to step right out of bounds.
Hunter's from Hampton, Virginia. His high school coach told him he could be a fine player once he got rid of a thug attitude. Just call him a thug.
Well, I tell you one thing. That attitude right there on the sideline showed me a little toughness.
Benson is hit. Rod Smith and Stonebreaker. Get him. He spins forward for a couple, but Purdue will have a big third down play coming up.
Defensively, you can never relax on a quarterback like this. You know, he can throw the football in the pocket. He's also just already displaying a strong arm, and he can get out of trouble.
The Boilermakers at the 15-yard line, or excuse me, at the 20-yard line, at third down and about 6. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Notre Dame leading 13-3. Young in motion to the left.
Blitz.
And the ball's loose. The ball is a free football, and it is still loose, and finally recovered by Zorich at the 36-yard line.
And Eric Hunter is down, and he got killed. I'll tell you, I think it was Scott Kowalkowski from the weak side, and he didn't see him coming, a blind shot. And Eric Hunter is still down. He was really hit. And there's the blitz.
And that's not something Notre Dame came into this game planning to do very much. They want to protect their secondary.
Exactly. But time and time again, if the quarterback's going to go back and throw the football, you've got to show him that blitz. And they brought everybody that time. We're going to take another look. And look at Zorich here. He's always double covered on the inside. We see Rod Smith, 21. That's George Williams, 69. He almost had a shot at the football right here. Then it squibs free to the left side, and Zorich is going to come up with it. Good hustle here. There he is, number 50.
Lou Holt's going to have a little fumble practice this week. About 5 guys missed that ball before Zorich got it. And a tough young guy, Eric Hunter, 6'4", 206 pounds.
You hate to see this happen. This kid, he's been the heart of the Purdue offense this year. Ted said only a sophomore, and he just got what quarterbacks, you know, in the pros especially, are paid for. You got to hang in that pocket, boy. You don't see somebody coming from the opposite side, and they just kill you.
So Notre Dame, the first turnover of the game. What's interesting about Eric Hunter, with all the passing in 2.5 football games, Eric Hunter has yet to be intercepted. Turns it over on a fumble, and Notre Dame starts 1st and 10 at their 36. The Irish lead 13-3, and it's a reverse to the Rocket. Got a block inside. Rocket up the sideline. Stays in bounds. And he is in. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
One of the defenders at Purdue said he stepped out of bounds, but it's ruled a touchdown. It's very close down the left sidelines, and there's the explosive speed, 64 yards. I swear it's just like watching a guy like Dale says. Every time he touches the football, Ted, you almost come to expect this. You give him a little hole. There he goes. Derek Brown in a good block.
Derek Brown made the block that turned him loose. Jackson caught him down from behind, and he fell down on the goal line. But Derek Brown made the block that got him outside.
That's his longest run of his career.
And for the first time this year, the Rocket has exploded. 64 yards, and Notre Dame has opened up a 20-3 lead. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages. How does he say his last name? Now they tell us it's Ismail.
Ismail, right.
We were told Ismail.
I don't think the Rocket can.
When he runs like that, 64 yards, and Notre Dame leads 20-3. here's Yates running this kick back to Yasha Yates. And he is out across the 25 for John Covington. Freshman brings him down. Dunyasha Yates, a young man who is from Steubenville, Ohio, went to Purdue last year as a wrestler. Could not compete because of Proposition 48. The wrestling coach at Purdue gave Fred Akers some tape of him playing football in high school. And he's a walk-on onto the football team this year.
Well, he just got 25 yards on the kickoff return.
Made a big catch on Purdue's last possession. But here is Hunter back under center.
Oh, he's a tough kid.
First down at the 27. They hand the ball off inside to Galen Morrow, a freshman out of Denver. And Demetrius Dubose, playing despite breaking a toe in practice Thursday, makes the tackle.
Take another look. Of course, you're going to find this out of the run and shoot because the defense, again, plays so soft against the run. The linebackers are a little bit more deep because you almost have to play the pass first, the run second.
Second down 3, so Morrow got 7 yards. Hunter, look at the time.
Look at his arm. I tell you, he's got a good arm.
Oh, there's a great grab on the dive by Jimmy Young at the Notre Dame 40-yard line.
Great catch by Young over the middle.
Well, Paul, by not rushing, by not blitzing, Notre Dame's hoping that the 7 people back can cover. They're still being open.
You got a little pressure from the outside there with Scott Kowalkowski. He was lined up as a defensive end. That was just a good catch by Jimmy Young over the middle. And you notice, and I was about to say, you know, most quarterbacks or most football players, when they get hit the way Eric Hunter got hit, they wouldn't play anymore, Ted. I mean, that was a tremendous shot he took. And here he is back in. He's running the football.
And Stonebreaker makes a fabulous play. Hunter could not get away from him. Stonebreaker flings him out after a gain of a yard.
Somebody missed a block on him. They're not going to let him run free with the quarterback, I'll tell you that. Just watch from the end zone. We take a look at the Andre Jones. You see number 7. He took the wide side of the field there. He had the outside responsibility. Stonebreaker on the inside, and he does his job.
Now, Hunter is going to have time to throw most of the day today.
You're looking at the only 5th-year senior on Notre Dame's football team, Mr. Stonebreaker.
He already has his degree.
Exactly.
He's a graduate student. Hunter, here's some pressure. Now gets rid of the football, throws it short, incomplete. Notre Dame will hope that the 4 men can get some pressure occasionally, but they're not going to get cute. They're not going to blitz an awful lot.
No. And I tell you, they're keeping a fresh set of linebackers in there at all times. Devon McDonald checks in.
That run made it 20-3, 9:18 now remaining in the half, and it's 3rd and 9 for Purdue at the Irish 39.
They've actually moved the football quite well against this Notre Dame defense. But interception and the fumble hurt him.
3rd and 9. And Hunter. Look at his elusiveness, but finally runs out of room. Devon McDonald back there along with Dahl, Zorich, and George Williams. 4 men put the pressure on, and Hunter finally ran out of room at the Irish 48.
He had a little time to throw the football here. Now you watch. Here's pretty good pass protection, actually. He stands in that pocket. Now that's just good coverage downfield. He can't find anybody open. Does a good job, but he's going to get sacked here by McDonald and Bob Dahl.
Now Ricky Waters is back on this punt. He is the lone man back as Eric Brun stands at his 38. Oh, the Irish came close there. Waters fair catching at the 11-yard line. So we have 8:27 to play in the first half. Notre Dame exploding for a couple of scores early in the second quarter, leads 20-3. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages. Notre Dame, Tony Brooks, the ball carrier, from the 11 to about the 16.
There's a flag on the
flag down.
And that marker may again be against the Irish, and it is. So that run will be wiped out. The second major penalty Actually, the third, a clip and now 2 holds against Notre Dame in the first half. Big Ten officials called quite a few holds against Notre Dame the first couple of weeks.
As we see Tony Brooks, he slides to the outside here. There's a big hole in the jersey on the inside. That was Mike Helt, the center, one of the captains.
And Notre Dame now pushed back from the spot of the hold, half the distance, 7-yard line. For the first down, 8:15 to play in the half. And it's a draw play to Culver. And he was tripped up. Darren Trebe got him by the ankles to slow him up, and then he stumbled forward. Tom McNeil finished him off. So take a look at some scores around college football today.
Oh, what a surprise this one is, huh? West Virginia, 4-point lead over Pittsburgh first quarter. Putting a lot of points on the board early. And Michigan over Maryland, 21-3. I don't think you're going to see Michigan lose too many more football games the rest of the year, Ted.
Big Ten has heard all about John Vaughn now. Here's Waters. Good lead block by Culver. Waters, nice job of spinning for a Notre Dame first down.
Nice run. 2nd and 10. He gets 12. Ricky's got 2 touchdowns on the year. His average a little bit under 4 yards a carry, and that is not good as far as Ricky Waters is concerned. He's a better runner than this, as you can see. Good move here for the first down.
And it was finally Darren Trebe that had to make the tackle. First down, Notre Dame at their 23 with 7:25 to play in the first half. The Irish lead 20-3. They have a screen set up to the Rocket. The play breaks down, and Meyer throws the ball away. A quick screen to Ismail, and it just didn't work.
I don't know what that was. It was a screen, but it looked odd or something. Everything's out of sync.
Those are the types of plays that have happened that bothered Lou Holtz a little bit. His offensive club's not used to seeing that.
Nope. And he'll get that straight. And I think with all the distractions here that's happened, that he said that's one of the things that has hurt this football team. What, he missed 4, 5, 6 practices during preseason. So he said that is taking away from the football team.
Into Waters. Waters is out across the 30-yard line.
Good running.
Frank Komet, Mount Prospect, Illinois, up the defensive line, makes the hit. And so Notre Dame will have 3rd and short.
Ted and I'll talk a little about our conversation with Lou Holtz at halftime.
Relay some interesting sentiments that Lou expressed yesterday.
Very candid with it.
We'll also visit with Notre Dame Athletic Director Dick Rosenthal. Ryan Mahalko in the game, and Notre Dame going to 2 tight ends. Full house backfield on 3rd down, and it's the Rocket getting the ball, and he has it to the 35. So another Notre Dame first down. Jared Scales out of the secondary making a hit. We'll also keep you updated on the scores of other games, and nice little look at Rick Meyer's development as Notre Dame quarterback. All coming up at halftime. 6:10 to play in the half. 20-3 Notre Dame. They have first down at the Irish 35. Jeff Scanina jumping there. And let's see which way this goes. Goes against Notre Dame.
Ball start.
Well, let's wait a second.
There it is.
That's it. Okay. Now it's straightened out by Al Hines. It'll be 5 on Purdue.
I was going to say, there's the head. Looks like he may be changing the play down the line of scrimmage, and Scanina jumps off sides on the inside there.
Scanina has been the best defensive lineman for the Boilermakers this year. He's from Long Grove, Illinois, another Chicago suburb. Well, it's 1st and 5. Notre Dame lining up in the eye here, and Meyer going to run the option and be shut down as Eric Beatty made the tackle.
Purdue defense playing the option perfectly this time, forcing forcing your quarterback to slow up. That's what you want. And then pursuit on the inside makes the stop.
Second down and 5. Freddie Akers seen his defense on the field a lot here in the first half. And Notre Dame has run the ball well. Into the line for short yardage is Culver. And he's out to the 43, so the Irish will have third and about 2. Well, Notre Dame would like to have this type of offense again next week because they're going to face another passing team in Stanford. There's 68 passes against the Irish last year.
That's right. And they moved the football against Notre Dame. The rushing yards, 210 yards for Notre Dame. Purdue for 1. This is by far Notre Dame's best offensive performance of the year as far as running the football is concerned. Full house.
That line getting stacked, and Culver has a first down. And Notre Dame has clearly established what they want to have happen here by their running attack.
They're clearly controlling the line of scrimmage. Offensive line probably blocking better. They're blocking probably a defensive team not as good as the first 2 teams that they played, Michigan, of course, and Michigan State.
Now the ball is up near midfield with a Notre Dame first down. This drive started at the 11. Meyer going for it all. And the Rocket runs into the defensive back, and a flag is thrown. Now that's interesting. As he ran into Jared Scales, the official closest to the play called nothing. An official from the sidelines came over and threw the flag.
Well, he was looking for the home run here. He had Rodney Culver open in the right flat, but he decided to go downfield with the Rocket. Why not? Interference. It looked like he got his feet tangled up. That was Jared Scales. You see that one official, he was signaling incomplete pass. The flag was thrown. They'll bring it back to the line of scrimmage, take the penalty, and it'll be first down Irish.
Well, it's a 15-yard mark off from the line of scrimmage at the Purdue 36 now. Notre Dame will have first down. Not sure that even without the collision that ball could have been caught.
I don't know, with his great speed, he can run under almost anything. It's very hard to overthrow this guy on a deep pattern.
They'll swing out to Waters, and there's nobody out there for Notre Dame. Some good coverage by Purdue and Steve Jackson, their outstanding defensive back. He started since he was a freshman. Makes the hit.
I tell you, he really comes up. He came up to meet the run earlier in the first quarter. Now, you watch number 1. They got a short and long over there. He's got the up position on the defense anyway, and he comes up and makes a good tackle. Steve Jackson, all Big Ten selection, blocked 3 kicks last year in 1989.
Second down, 15. Meyer. And the ball caught at the 20-yard line by Sean Davis.
Now, that's his best pitch of the day. He's right on the money here with Sean Davis, the junior out of Tulsa. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds. Here's this rollout again. A look at Rodney Culver, who makes a very nice block out in front. And he just lays it over the zone, right over the cornerback, Steve Jackson, and in front of the safety man. Good pitch by Rick Meyer.
And Sean Davis getting a chance to play more today, actually taking some playing time from Adrian Gerald.
And that was his first catch, right?
First catch.
Serve.
Played defensive back last year.
Adrian Gerald, of course, with those 2 big catches in the first 2 games. Here comes the reverse.
Ismail! And he is down to the 11-yard line. Darren Trebe on the hit. Notre Dame finding a lot of ways to get the ball into Rocket's hands.
And you almost have. And every time he touches the football, you can feel the crowd. They just swell up. They get on the edge of their seats as if, well, is he going to break this one?
You keep mentioning Sayer's name, and the great thing about Ismail, he really thinks he should break every time. He has that mentality.
That's right. Only a junior, folks. Also already has 5 kick returns for touchdowns. 6 a record with Tim Brown.
It is first down, and I believe it's 1st and 10. I think Notre Dame could get a first down without a touchdown. Brooks And
run.
Brooks down to the 2.
Senior from Tulsa. He's back, and he's a solid 225-pound running back. Notre Dame's offensive line really taking care of business now up front. I'll tell you, Ted, they're really blocking. Look at that hole. And Brooks makes a nice move and keeps his balance and struggles inside the 5, ball marked at the 2. Good run.
Second down and goal. Full house backfield now for the Irish. And it's Ismail, and he got
did he get hit?
Stoned down by Peyton Minter, junior from King High School in Chicago.
Boy, good defense here by Peyton Minter, defensive right end from Chicago, and he got to the inside of that block and made a nice stop.
And Ismail got stopped dead in his tracks, so it's third down. They can get a first down, I believe, but barely, without putting the ball in. Culver, and he is in. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Number 3 on the year for Rodney Culver from Detroit. Good blocking up front. Mirko Jerkovic, the right guard, the junior from Calumet City, Illinois, and Justin Hall, the big junior from Dallas on the right side. Watch the right side. That's Jerkovic, number 74, and Rodney Culver comes to the back on the inside, takes on a linebacker by himself. That was Dan Brecky, and he got in.
Hendricks' kick is good. The third touchdown of the second quarter for Notre Dame. An 89-yard drive culminated with Culver's touchdown. And Notre Dame now leads 27-3. We'll return on Sports Channel America after these messages. Hasn't said it, but I think there's a lot of hope around that Todd will be able to play against Stanford next week. He's out with a hamstring injury. But some very talented freshmen are getting some quick game experience in his place. Yet's going to run this ball back. Goes right against the blocking up the sideline and has a nice run back. Out across the 30. Next Saturday, the Stanford Cardinal with Coach Dennis Green will be here, and they have had some impressive early season games. And you'll see it live right here on Sports Channel America next Saturday at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Check your local listings for further details. Stanford coming very close to beating both Colorado and UCLA on the road in their first 2 games of the year.
And I know they're going to be ready for the pass because Stanford will put it up.
Well, on the kick coverage team, Greg Lane, the freshman who's starting at cornerback for the Irish, is down. And now up, and it's not Lane. Let's check that. It's Bryant Young again. So Bryant Young shaken up momentarily, and now over at seated with 1:58 to play in the first half. Notre Dame leading 27-3. They have taken the ball 66, 64, and 89 yards on their possessions in the second quarter.
Bryant Young was one of the youngsters, the freshman that Lou Holtz was talking about. He said he just loves to play, gets that gleam in his eye, and he loves to hit people.
Hunter short hops it in there to Jimmy Young on that screen pattern. It'll be second down. I mentioned earlier what's impressive about Hunter. First full season starting. He has not thrown an interception yet.
That's right. And I tell you, they may come right back to that. That was wide open. Let's see. It's the same formation, of course. The run and shoot, double slot.
Back again. Through the hands and incomplete, intended for Young. With 1:48 remaining on the Casio clock here in the first half, 27-3 Notre Dame. They have not gotten the ball often to Rodney Dennis, who was mentioned. He's their explosive receiver.
Made a great catch over the middle for about 23 yards, and that's all we've seen him.
Now 3 men left on 3rd and 10. 1:48. Purdue not huddling here. Hunter throws that underneath, and there's Dennis, and that's incomplete.
Well, he was open. It was just Eric Hunter a little low in this series. 2 of the passes to his left were low, incomplete. He was wide open for the first down, just couldn't get it there on time.
And maybe that hit that Hunter took a little earlier beginning to take its toll right now because he misfired on a few passes. Eric Brunn into punt. And Waters is the deep back. Notre Dame with 10 men up front again. And the left footer gets it out of there, and Waters will take it. 25-yard line. Straight ahead for about 8, the 33. So with 92 seconds remaining in the half, Notre Dame takes over leading 27-3. And here's the most impressive drive of the game thus far for the Irish. 14 plays, better than 6 minutes.
That's exactly what Lou Holtz wants. Control the football game, run the football, take time off the clock.
And with 1:32 to play in the half, we'll see how the Irish approach it there. They have 3 timeouts remaining. They're in pretty good field position. Meyer's gonna look down the field and throw, and he has a man out there, and it's just overthrown for Tony Smith, who was behind Tank Adams, the defensive back.
Boy, Tony Smith made a good move on the outside to get free. Yeah, scrouting up, boy. He just left him all alone. He was wide open for 6.
One of the offensive areas that Lou Holtz has been most pleased with is the development of the receivers. They've really come a long way the first 3 games this year.
Adrian Gerald, a sophomore from Athens. You've got Sean Davis. You've got Lake Dawson, a freshman.
At halftime, we'll visit with Dick Rosenthal. We'll also have a look at Rick Meyer. A little bit behind the scenes in his development. Here's the give to Sean Davis on the reverse. Flag down on the blocking, and Davis out to the 40-yard line.
They've seen that one once or twice, I think, in the first half.
And Notre Dame nailed for its 3rd holding penalty of the half. So at 1:19, this will push the Irish back.
Comes a reverse. The left hand of the center on the inside might help maybe, and he's just holding him down and don't get up.
It's interesting, and Lou Holtz has been an advocate of something that I think would be great, that college football should have a unified set of officials, just like college basketball does. One interpretation of penalties used all throughout the nation. A lot of feeling is that Big Ten officials interpret holding differently from Southeast, from Pac-10 officials.
Well, I'd have to tend to agree, and especially you get used to working with the same crew. It just makes a much better situation all over.
So 2nd and 18. We're in the final minute of the half. Clock is moving. Everybody out. Blitz. Pass to Jarrell, but the ball knocked out of his hand, and it's scooped up beautifully by, I believe, Tim Ryan, or somebody on the offensive line scooped that ball up.
Notre Dame lucky Purdue does not get the football back here.
And it was Ryan.
Tim Ryan heads up. The senior from Kansas City gets it back. There he is, right guard. He's helping out. Now Scanina gets loose on the inside. It's almost an automatic pattern. Rick Meyer picks it up, throws a little quick post over the middle. Adrian Gerald coughed it up. Tim Ryan got it back.
That was a nice pickup by Ryan. Penalty is another holding call against the Irish. Or check that. It's illegal motion against the Irish, which will be declined. And it's 3rd down and long yardage at the 29. 3rd down and 18. 43 seconds remaining in the half. Now William Pollard is in. Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Yeah, my man from
right?
Kentucky's in there. Let's see if they go to him. It's first time we've seen him this year. He's been injured.
Brooks up the middle. And Brooks punches it out across the 35. Purdue has 1 timeout remaining, and they'll use it here at 18 seconds remaining. And the Irish will set up for a punt. Of course, Purdue has had some awful good success blocking kicks the last year and early this year. They'll get 1 crack at it there with 18 seconds to play in the half. Fred Akers in his 4th year at Purdue. It's hard to imagine, Paul, that with all the great football tradition at that school, they've had only one winning year in the last decade. And
well, I think that's going to change. I really do. I think they've got a young man that they can pin a winning season on, and you're looking at him right now. Eric Hunter has the ability, I think, to take Purdue on a winning year before he leaves that school.
Problem at Notre Dame's side. Remarkable how Lou Holtz, week after week, in the last couple of years, against a grueling schedule, has been able to keep Notre Dame ready to play. They've not had a letdown.
Nope, they've been ranked #1 a lot of those weeks, too, and that's just added pressure. And I think Notre Dame gets used to the pressure of other teams coming in and giving an all-out effort against them, because they go through that every week. They have to be ready for teams, because for a lot of the teams, if they beat Notre Dame, they've had a good year. So, and the type of schedule that they do play just forces them to be ready.
18 seconds remaining in the first half. Notre Dame lining up now for its first punt of the game. Craig Hendrick will do the punting. Callaway is the lone man back for Purdue. And Hendrick gets that kick away. It'll hit short and bound.
It's a good bounce.
Tommy Carter will down it near the 15-yard line, and Purdue will have time for one play. With 5 seconds left in the half. The Boilermakers have had a couple of big pass plays, but they have not had consistent offense in the first half. And it kind of slipped away from Fred Akers' team very quickly. It was a good ball game, and all of a sudden 2 big plays early in the second quarter broke it open.
But what he has to do is he's got to regroup it in that locker room and tell the kids, you know, you got to hang in there. You know, you might get a break, you get back into this football game. You can't put your head down in a situation like this. They got to run and shoot offense. They just got to keep plugging away. A lot of the receivers have been open, Ted, in this offense. So you just got to, right here. Of course, everybody's playing back now. They're going to pick up 15 and get out of bounds.
And Rodney Dennis, the receiver, pushed out, and that ends the first half. So Notre Dame, with 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, takes a 27-3 lead into the locker room as we pause now for a regional break.
This job. I hope everything smooths out, and I think it will.
Now, what's most interesting is what the effect it's had on the football program. That Lou Holtz does say, yeah, we weren't as ready to play after fall practice. We weren't as ready for the Michigan game as I would have liked, because I never missed a practice in my life. I missed 6 practices in fall two-a-days.
Well, hopefully he's going to have it behind him, but I tell you, he thinks about it. There's no question about it. He's very honest about his reputation, and he's very proud of it.
And now, after the halftime talk, we'll take a look at the 2 big plays in the first half from Notre Dame's standpoint. Here's a little, well, this is deja vu. It used to be Tony Rice running this. Now it's Rick Meyer.
He makes a very nice move here. He's got a good hole off the left side. He cuts back inside. The cornerback trying to come up, forced to play. But look at this move back inside of Nat Martin, the safety man. And he's a good tackler, number 17. He goes 12 yards for 6 points.
That made it 13-3 Notre Dame early in the second quarter. Then Purdue fumbled on its next possession in Notre Dame territory. The Irish recovered, and on the first play,
here comes the rocket as he explodes down the left sideline. Been clocked at 4.25 speed in the 40. 65 yards.
And what was
right here, when he gets in the open field, you can almost smell 6 points.
Derek Brown made such a marvelous block on the outside there to spring Ismail. And once he gets down here, it's a foot race, and the official gets in the way.
Official gets in the way. He gets hit from behind here because he was slowing up for the official by Steve Jackson, but he gets in for 6.
Barely. But it was 6, and now Notre Dame will receive the second half kickoff.
And the Rockets back deep.
Steve Womble to kick it off for Purdue.
Well, he kicks it high and long.
And the Rocket will down it. about 4 yards deep. 27-3 Notre Dame as we start the third quarter, and there is what the quarterbacks did in the first half.
Keep in mind, Meyer was also 39 yards, 4 carries, and 1 touchdown. So he's over 100 yards in offense. Hunter, of course, 162 yards.
But Paul, key there, Purdue's supposed to throw the football, yet they only threw 5 more passes than Notre Dame.
That's right. They didn't have the football. There is the difference. 18 minutes they controlled the football. 18:42 to be exact.
So the Irish start at the 20-yard line, and Meyer throws a pass to Ismail. Oh, put a nice move on to get outside. He's good for 7 yards before Steve Johnson.
That's his first catch of the afternoon. Gives him 10 on the year.
Now another member of that very deep Irish receiving corps in Ray Griggs for the first time this year. He and William Pollard, the sophomores, both have missed a lot of time with leg injuries. Second down and 3, and here's Culver inside. Rodney Culver made maybe the biggest play, despite Jarrell's catch on the deflection last week. Culver made a marvelous run on a 4th down play, caught a pass, made a great spin to get extra yardage that kept that drive alive at Michigan State.
Culver's played a lot of football for Notre Dame when he was a freshman, too. He got a lot of playing time as a freshman. It really shows up now. He's an experienced veteran, even though he's an actual junior.
Brooks carries. He's racked up for short yardage. Jeff Scanina, Tom McNeil on the hit.
Florida, 10-point lead over Mississippi State, and Steve Spurrier doing an excellent job with the Gators. And Michigan, how about this? Maryland staying pretty close, second quarter, 21-10. Boston College over Navy by 4, third quarter. And West Virginia, this is a surprise, Ted. 2-touchdown lead over Pittsburgh.
The Irish will visit Pittsburgh later this season. Option pitch to Tony Brooks. And a flag goes down. And that one thrown out there as Sean Davis was throwing a block. When Notre Dame's having a lot of trouble blocking on running plays. Not just this week, but the last few.
And it's on the outside with the flankers and their slot man. Here comes the option. Right into the camera. Good shot right here as Tony Brooks tries to get to the outside. Now watch number 17, Sean Davis, right there with his left and right hand on the shoulder pad of number 1, Steve Jackson.
Last week, Tony Smith.
Holding, offense, repeat second down.
Wide receiver was whistled twice for holding penalties, and I think that was something that terribly pleased Lou Holtz. By my count, that's 5 major penalties against Notre Dame thus far.
Virginia, well, they've been rolling up big scores. They were big favorites today. A 3-point lead in the second quarter for Virginia. Their Heisman Trophy candidate, Sean Moore.
I wonder if Lou Holtz sent a little inspiration speech in there. Meyer throws the ball away.
Frank Kmet wanted in the grasp. He had a hold of him. He got rid of the football. Incomplete.
Yeah, there could have been a grounding call there because there was no eligible receiver near this football.
That's exactly right. He got away with one here. Watch Rick Meyer. Just good thinking here. Those are all linemen in front of Rick Meyer. Got away with one.
That was that nobody caught it.
Yeah, intentional grounding. Or an intentional pass to no receiver.
But it's third down and 15. Now Notre Dame from the 27. This football, and he won't get too far before he's spun around and put down in the turf by Dan Brecky.
The tough thing about a rollout on 3rd and long, once you roll out, once you get to the outside, you have cut off almost half the field to throw the football to because you can only go to that side of the field. That angle over there is cut. If he had to stop and throw back to his left, it just cuts off the field too much. You don't have that much room to throw it when you roll out and you get outside.
Second punt for Notre Dame. Hendrick punted at the end of the first half and now starts one here. The thing that has hurt Notre Dame's offense today, about the only thing that stopped them, has been the major penalties. Oh, we have a good pressure, and they almost got to that. Boy, Purdue got in quickly. And Hendrick, who's had some punting troubles in game situations, spins that one away and is out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Almost the second block of the year against Notre Dame, and Holtz is hot.
Notre Dame leading 27-3. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages.
Craig Hendrick almost gets this punt block. It's a little bit low, but it's a good snap. There it is. All two Purdue defenders right there. It just went right to his arms. And as we take a look at Craig Hendrick getting a few pointers over on the sideline, the only thing you can do there when you're a punter is try to kick it as quickly as possible, because you don't even have to look up, Ted. You know that pressure's coming. You can feel the pressure.
Amazingly, those Purdue players in so close, nobody hit Hendrick. So the Boilermakers start at their 39-yard line on first down, and Hunter lost the ball. That's a live football. And let's see, Kowalkowski knocked it free, and Notre Dame has it.
That's the second time Kowalkowski has come in from the blind side and got Hunter. He really popped him, as we see Zorich on top of the pile here. What a play by Kowalkowski.
And there he came out with it.
Senior from Detroit. I tell you one thing, if I was Eric Hunter, I'd be aware of number 37. He beats the block on the outside of Scott Conover, the right tackle. He knocks the football free. And did he get it back himself? Yes, he did. Scott Kowalkowski will be credited with the fumble recovery also.
And Notre Dame's second turnover takes over at the Purdue 33, running it with Brooks. And Brooks gets about 5. Darren Trebe, that fine middle linebacker anchoring the Purdue defense, makes the tackle.
And Holtz is the offensive coordinator for this football team. He calls every play. He sends the plays in with receivers, running backs.
Except for one big pass in the last drive against Michigan that Rick Meyer called. Meyer sent a messenger over to the bench to tell the coach that he wanted to run a certain play, so Lou sent it in a couple of plays later, and it worked. Culver for a couple. It was a pass that Ismail caught in front of the Michigan bench on that last drive. Oh, it's third down now. 3rd and 2 at the Purdue 25. And Dorsey Levens comes into the backfield, and Irv Smith will come in as a second tight end.
There's a play selection. Purdue, 16 passes, rush 14. That's kind of unusual. 14 rushes for Purdue. Of course,
they've had
when the quarterback,
plays,
when the quarterback gets forced out of the pocket, it's counted as a run.
Ooh, Levens didn't get there. And Darren Trebe just met him head on. And the senior out of Chicago made a fine play to turn Levens back, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, he's an all Big Ten selection, middle linebacker Darren Trebe, a senior from Chicago, and a good one. That's him, 55.
Levens doesn't have all the quickness back yet that he should have, and that's why he hasn't played until this game. Just still recuperating from the knee, and you kind of saw it there. 4th down in the yard. The Irish will go for it from the Purdue 24. It's Waters as the tailback, and Meyer will keep it. 1st down. On the option, Meyer turns it up to the 20-yard line.
Let me tell you something, Ted. Practice will not get you in shape. You can try as hard. You can run laps. You can run wind sprints. Game action gets a football player in shape. Boy, there's nothing like it. If you run the football 4 or 5 times to pick up 7 yards, but if you have to run it 4 straight times, there's some about it. It will kill you. It just takes everything out of you. You know, that bang, the tackle, the tackle. You get up and you're very, very tired. You can run wind sprints all day long and might make it, but you're never as tired. Game action.
Brooks down near the 10-yard line. Tony Brooks running the option. That sounds like a statement from personal experience.
That's absolutely true, I'll tell you. Nothing better than game experience.
The Irish continue to roll up the rushing yards with a slew of talented backs.
Here's the option. Brooks with the speed to get outside. And I tell you, he's north-south runner. He loves to go up the field. He doesn't dilly-dally with, trying to get outside. And he's got good speed, good instincts.
That is Jerome Bettis. Freshman fullback running inside, and he's inside the 10, so it'll be first and goal for Notre Dame.
Freshman from Detroit.
Now, Paul, a lot of people ask, why did Notre Dame throw the ball more? And that was a recurring theme this year with Meyer taking over as quarterback. Now, if you had as many talented running backs as Lou Holtz had, would you throw the football 50 times a game?
They got 6 kids, and all of them over 205, 210 pounds, and they all run 4.5, 4.4.
Look at Waters up the middle and driving near the goal line. Did not get in, but came awfully close. The inside determination of Ricky Waters this year has been really something to watch.
A lot better. He really learned how to run last year. He came into his own, led this team in rushing, and this kid has really turned into a fine running back. I really believe he's got a great future either way in the pros, whether it's a receiver or a running back. I think he'll make any pro team at either position.
Second and goal, 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Irish with a big lead, and inside for a touchdown goes Sean Davis. And there's a Notre Dame first touchdown for Sean Davis to make it 33-3.
Davis was in plenty of time. He hit the ground and fumbled, of course, and it's going to be ruled a touchdown. Watch this hole up front, Ted. Look at here. I think this was easy. Look, right here. Boom. That is what you call... Oh, he did fumble the football in the air when he was in the air, but he gets it back.
But he was already... All he had to do is cross the plane.
That's all. It was over.
It was in. So Sean Davis with the touchdown. Hendrick to attempt the extra point. And Notre Dame capitalizing on the fumble caused by Kowalkowski. So with 8 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Notre Dame has now opened up a 34-3 lead. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages. Hendrick will kick it off. And Jimmy Young fields this on the run at the 8-yard line. And he is out just across the 20 before he is knocked down. And Brian Radigan, reserve linebacker, makes a big hit. There are the feet, fists, and fury of Sports Channel America, premiering Monday night. The unbridled fury of pro wrestling, followed by the fiery rage of kickboxing, and then the Sports Cream Pro Boxing Tour. A full night of excitement from the ring, premiering Monday night at 7 Eastern on Sports Channel America. Sounds like the way the Atlanta Falcons play defense, isn't it?
I was going to say, Maury, what?
There's a run, and there's a good cutback, and Tony Vincent all the way into the secondary and across midfield as Reggie Brooks makes the tackle, and Vincent with a huge gain.
31 yards for Tony Vincent. Off the right side, you see number 50 is veering to his right. Here comes Vincent off the right side. Reggie Brooks hangs on as Purdue gets 31 yards and a first down.
Hunter's quick pass to Rodney Dennis. Nice tackle by Reggie Brooks in the open field.
2 in a row.
Reggie Brooks had never played a game in his life in the defensive secondary until the first game this year. And now he's starting.
They may have found a winner over here as a cornerback. Good move here. There's Reggie Brooks. He makes a good catch by Rodney Dennis.
And Hunter belted down by Bob Dahl. Second down and 12. Hunter changing play. Gets it off in time, and he's going to be in trouble. Probably wishes he hadn't. Bob Dahl again on the pressure. And a loss of yardage. That running play for Vincent, 31 yards. That was the first run by a Purdue running back of more than 9 yards this year.
Well, they haven't been running the football at all. They've been throwing it, and successfully. But today, this Notre Dame defense is just a little bit too quick. They've hit Eric Hunter from the blind side a couple of times, caused him to fumble.
Now it's 3rd and 13. Hunter looking, now flushed out. Flag down, and Rodney Dennis has a catch for a first down if there's no flag, but I'm sure that Notre Dame will be pleased that finally, for the first time today, they whistle Purdue for holding.
I tell you one thing, he handles that pocket well. He hangs right in there to the very last minute. Then he gets out of trouble, and I tell you, when he finds a receiver downfield that's open, he normally puts the football right on the money. He's got a good arm. You can see it. Now watch how long he just hangs in that pocket. Got great patience in there. Good poise. Now he gets away. Now watch the arm here, Ted. He's got a good arm there. You see the flag on the holding call. But he put it right on the money.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. You come back here in 2 years, and you're going to see an awfully good quarterback when Eric Hunter comes in here as a senior.
Offense, repeat 3rd down.
That's the good thing. For Fred Akers and Purdue, as painful as games like this are right now, they know they have 2.5 more seasons of this young man. He walked into Michigan last year and threw for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns at Ann Arbor as a freshman.
This offense, you know, you try to get 5 big offensive linemen up front, tackle to tackle, and get 5 good quick backs who can catch the football.
A great time, and that one is tipped and almost caught by McManus on the deflection. It was off the hands of Dunyasha Yates to begin with.
Tom Carter was around that football also, the freshman from St. Petersburg back there defensively. Take another look. There's Hunter. Andre Jones giving that receiver a bump. That was Yates. And the ball was catchable. The only problem here is Yates is only 5'5". He's a tough little kid, but he needed a few extra inches there. That was a pretty good pass, actually, but he's just so short he couldn't get up there after it.
And Purdue has had a lot of passes the first couple of weeks off the hands of receivers. Their receivers will probably be schooled a lot. Try to improve that part of their game. Waters lets that ball hit on the nose and into the end zone. So big punt, 61 yards by Eric Brunn. And Notre Dame will come out and start at the 20-yard line. It is all Irish. A comfortable afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium, 34-3. Notre Dame football returns on Sports Channel America after these.
True freshman quarterback, 1 injury away. Now, we got a 31-point lead here as far as Notre Dame is concerned in this football game. And I thought maybe we would see B.J. Hawkins or Kevin McDougal in as a quarterback.
Waters outside for good yardage.
I would think he'd give them a little bit of work in a game like this, especially when your experience is only a sophomore in his 3rd game. So
I think he will in the 4th quarter, Paul. I think he feels it's probably a little too early now.
I think maybe also they might run the football and keep it on the ground.
Meyer will not be put in any situations where he could get hurt.
Exactly, but you still take that chance, see?
2nd down and a yard here at the Notre Dame 29. Waters in motion. Meyer's going to roll to the wide side. Takes a big hit as he throws it out for Ismail, who just misses the diving catch. Way down the field, Meyer took a pretty good bump from Peyton Minter after throwing the football. And it's going to be 3rd and a yard.
There it is. Little counter action here. Man in motion, they faked it to him. Minter got to put a good hit on him. Almost there, almost on the money.
That's a tough ball to throw, exactly. Rolling to your left.
Well, it's a lot tougher when you see a 6'6" defensive end right in your face. That's the real tough thing to throw.
3rd down and a yard for the Irish at their own 29. 5:38 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Culver inside. Well, if he got it, it was not by much. Racked up. Looks like he broke the plane of the 30-yard line. And he did for a first down. Well, some night, Paul, we ought to hook it up from your sports showcase in Louisville, right here on Sports Channel. Hook it up right into the Lou Holtz show, which follows, and you can ask him those questions.
I would like that. I would like that.
Ball just across the 30 for a Notre Dame first down. They lead Purdue 34-3. Notre Dame, #1 for the 3rd straight week. They spent most of last year in that position. Sean Davis on his knees with a catch just shy of the 40-yard line. The last time Notre lost a home football game was to Penn State. The last game of the 1986 season. Home season. The last time they lost a football game here.
Well, it just becomes more evident of the question that I posed. He just wants to give Rick Meyer a little bit more work, you know, being only a sophomore in his third game.
There's Culver inside, and that's a first down. And Kevin McDougal, who is right now the number 2 quarterback, and B.J. Hawkins are young prospects that both very talented, but I'm not certain that Lou Holtz feels either is really ready right now to play a lot of major college football. They're true freshmen. And as Holtz says, you look at the whole Big Ten, there's only one person last year who played in the whole conference as a true freshman.
But if he's going to play any of the freshman quarterbacks, this is the kind of game, this is the kind of day that you give him a little experience, Ted. You got a 31-point lead here in the third quarter, and I don't think there's any hope for Purdue to really make any serious comeback.
Meyer looking deep, going to throw it out there again. This is Ray Griggs, and a diving catch by Griggs inside the 15.
This kid's got a great arm. He just put it right on the money. What a catch here. Looked like he was going to catch it full stride and go right into the end zone, but he had to extend himself. $43 yards. Here it is. Roll out right. Boy, he's got all the time in the world to throw the football here. Ray Griggs. What a catch. Beautiful.
Griggs, who again, we said, has not played. He missed most of fall camp with a leg injury.
This is the best receiving group, as you said earlier, Ted, that I think I've seen at Notre Dame in a long, long time, maybe ever.
Option. Meyer turns it up, just a short gain. Frank Komet, Tom McNeil on the hit. Skip Holtz is the receivers coach for Notre Dame, and he really raves about the progress the receivers seem to be making as far as just getting open. They seem to run patterns better this year.
And they really
and caught the ball better.
They run their offense just mostly out of a rollout situation. It's you know, if you're defending against Notre Dame and you're going in defensively, you know, you're going to see a lot of trips left, trips right, trying to put the rocket in the slot, roll out.
That's Culver out of the backfield, and he's inside the 10. McNeil on the hit.
Tackle by McNeil.
Oh, it's going to be third down for Notre Dame. Third and about 3. 2:45 to go in the third quarter. What Notre Dame's doing here, they are getting Meyer some practice in the passing game. 2:33 to play third quarter, clock running, and now it is stopped as a timeout is taken by Notre Dame as they have the ball third down and a long 3 at about the 8-yard line. And the Irish lead it 34-3 over Purdue. Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages. Creation High School Game of the Week comes your way on Sports Channel America from Kansas City. Friday night, Jefferson City against Rockhurst. Both schools have won state championships in the 80s. The High School Game of the Week, Friday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, live on Sports Channel America. And for the first time in his collegiate career, Kevin McDougal will take a center snap from Pompano Beach, Florida. And McDougal snapping 3rd and 3 here at the 8-yard line, giving to Dorsey Levens, and he will be short of a first down.
McDougal, 6'3", 176 pounds for Pompano Beach. And he quite a basketball player, too, in high school. Averaged 20 points in his senior year. He's a good athlete.
He emerged out of a 3-way battle during most of fall camp, right now as the backup quarterback. And one thing you know, when you come to play at Notre Dame as a quarterback, you're going to be very close to Lou Holtz. And usually he will be talking and you will be listening. Here's Hedrick from 24 yards away. And Hedrick boots it through.
I never knew any coaches with any other psychology but that. They're all like that.
So Hedrick's third field goal of the game boosts the Irish lead to 37-3 with 1:49 to play in the third quarter. Well, Lou Holt's very open about it. He is tough on his quarterbacks. And, you know, the psychology behind it is interesting, Paul. He says Rick Meyer in the fourth quarters of the last 2 weeks, he's been calm because after surviving practice with me, the games are nothing.
I tell you, for a sophomore quarterback getting a start, and you are the leader, you're the only experienced guy there, actually, and he didn't have much experience last year. The mental toughness that kid had to go through in the first 3 or 4 weeks will really do him some good in the years to come, because he handled it with a lot of poise under pressure, playing in 2 games like he did and bring that team back in the fourth quarter. What a job.
First 3 quarters of the previous 2 games is pass completions.
Now wait till we put up the little panel with the fourth quarter is a little different.
Their flag goes down as Young runs that kick back to the 25-yard line. Well, the fourth quarter's really stepped it up. 73%. That's incredible.
It really is. 5 out of 7 against Michigan. Of course, every one of them big, and 6 out of 8 against Michigan State for the win when you're behind, when the pressure's on, when you have to do it. That's the difference.
Well, that's what, in a point, was really insulting, I think, to Notre Dame about the harping on how lucky they were to win the last 2 games.
First down.
Well, I think they were lucky myself.
Well, they were 2 lucky plays, but you cannot argue with those numbers. The fact that they went down the field,
they did it when they had to.
81 yards.
You know, even Lou Holtz, what did he say? He says there's something blessed about this school. I mean, even he admitted, you know, had Mr. Murray had that interception in his arms, it just happened to hit his shoulder pad instead of in his stomach, or he would have had the interception. Bounces up right into Gerald's hands. It was a break.
First down now, Purdue at the 13-yard line. Hunter throwing it out to McManus, and he's brought down. Nice open field move by Lane, Greg Lane. And McManus has a short gain.
Made by Lane, a gain of 5.
The man who quarterbacked Purdue last year against Notre Dame. We'll see this again.
Well, they've used this all day long. It's just a little quick pass out to the flanker, and they just hope that he's a good enough athlete to beat the cornerback coming up. They picked up 5.
Yet's in motion. Hunter gets it away. Nice grab. Coming out of the backfield, Galen Morrow with one hand. Pulls that ball down. And Hunter really hung in there because he took a whack from Eric Simeon.
Eric Simeon, the fine sophomore, 6'3", 225-pound, very quick. He had a good shot at it. He's limping his way back to the huddle, though, but I think he's okay. Good pitch and a good catch.
Simeon, a marvelous specimen physically, who's been hampered with leg injuries.
I tell you, Eric Hunter's a tough kid, isn't he, Ted? I don't think a lot of quarterbacks be hanging in there the way he has. He's been under pressure all day long. He's really taken some good whacks.
So they try to take the pressure off and give the ball to Morrow, and he's racked up. Zorich and Andre Jones. And the third quarter winding down now, 37-3, Notre Dame leading.
We got to get a shot before we go. We take a little replay. We got to get a shot of Chris Zorich's arms up close. I mean, these guys, I mean, it's a huge arms that he has. He's stronger than a bull. We see Notre Dame just stuff that running play.
And they get this play off, the last one of the third quarter. Hunter throwing it. It is complete for a first down across the 40-yard line.
Impressive. I tell you, he's got a good arm right on the money.
Jermaine Ross made the catch there. So Purdue will have a first down when the fourth quarter starts. But after 3 quarters at Notre Dame Stadium, it is 37-3 Notre Dame as we pause now for a regional break. Notre Dame football returns after these messages.
Recently, Four Wheel and Off-Road Magazine took this year's 4x4 of the Year winner and all the past winners and conducted a head-to-head showdown to determine the best of the best. So who won? Who do you think? There are a lot of 4x4s out there, but there's only one Jeep.
Get 0% financing or 1,000 cash back on new Jeep Cherokees.
News in this town, you gotta have fast feet and a big heart, because this is a gutsy town, and nobody.
As a sports writer, you can't just watch the game. You gotta completely absorb it, every play.
Part of the city. The Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago's #1 selling newspaper.
Welcome to Village Jeep Eagle.
We're the new owners of Village Jeep Eagle, where you get a great deal more.
Village Jeep Eagle offers you the selection of new and used cars and Jeeps for many of our pre-owned cars and Jeeps right now with no money down. Whatever your needs, we can fill it with prices ranging from $1,000 to $25,000. So come out to Village Jeep Eagle during our new ownership celebration.
No one sells a Jeep cheaper than the Village.
Village Jeep Eagle on Route 19 in Elgin, where you get a great deal more in the Village.
Remember Louisville?
Coming up the loose side.
Man, forget Louisville. NC State game.
Howard to Price.
All I remember is Ohio State. Bam, bam, bam.
What about the Notre Dame game?
Notre Dame? You?
Hey, I made the pass.
Bucky Murphy for the win. Yes, he's tipped in.
I swear it's a pass.
There's my man. I tell you, it looks like he's got a pair of legs hanging down from those shoulders, doesn't it? He is some kind of strong. And they say he can bench press a building. This weight program, I think, is the biggest thing in the last 15 or 20 years to really change this game. The kids are so much stronger today. They're quicker. They're bigger. And it's a training program that's all year long. And I really believe that's the cause of it, Ted. Kids train all year long with that weight program.
Hunter airmails one out there to Callaway, incomplete. And the numbers pretty accurately reflect the ball game to this point. 311 running yards for the Irish. You look at Zorich, I would have to say, Paul, you can make a pretty good case that he is the most important player to his team in college football.
Well, I think defensively there's no question for Notre Dame how much they rely on him. He puts the pressure, he stops the run, he stuffs the center. And he'll be eligible for almost every award in college football as far as the linemen are concerned. He'll be in the hunt.
Greg Davis breaking up that pass, a flag down on the play. And a holding call. Let's see if it was Zorich being held.
There he is again going against Jason Segelski on the right side. Left arm. Of course, you can extend your arms like that right there. I don't think it was against Segelski
no,
here.
Didn't look that way.
No, sir. I don't think there was holding in that play.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, second down.
Of course, they don't name the culprit in college football. They just say offense, defense.
It'll be second down and 20. Long day. Freddie Akers thought he might be able to watch his team after they played Washington so well 2 weeks ago. Come in here and put on a strong performance, but Notre Dame has been too powerful. And the run and shoot offense hasn't been out there enough. Here's Morrow coming out of the backfield with a catch, and he is out close to the 40-yard line.
Well, he didn't wait for his right guard that time. Jason Segelski was trying to get out in front and block. He just outran his interference here. Galen Morrow just got a little bit too anxious here. He could have cut back, Ted. Now watch this. This is a pretty good screen setup out here. Right here. Here's his guard coming out. He's trying to get keyed on a block. He just outruns his interference. He had a lot of room back to the inside.
Third 13 now. Purdue just shy of the Irish 40-yard line. And Hunter's hit. That's Eric Simeon who got it from the backside. If Eric Simeon could stay healthy, and focused on football, I don't know that there's any telling how dominant a player he could be.
Exactly. We'll take a look at him. He's looking right of your screen here, going against Scott Conover, the right tackle. Moves to the inside. Look how quick he is. 6'3", 230.
And the sack pushing Purdue back to the 36. And another punt coming here from Bruin. It's off a nice one. Waters will take it at the 20-yard line. And he is up to the 25 before being brought down.
Go, defense!
So Notre Dame in this half has a touchdown and a field goal in 3 possessions. Taking over, and it looks like B.J. Hawkins, a freshman, will be in when Notre Dame football returns after these messages.
Did you ever think you'd see the day when a car could actually call you if it's being stolen? With Toronto's Visual Information Center and mobile phone, next time it's 11 o'clock, you know where your car is.
This is a new generation of Olds.
Casio presents some of the hottest new faces in sports. He's 7'1", standing still. But when he lifts off, that's another story. He goes basket to basket in seconds flat. And energy, he's got plenty to burn. David Robinson and Casio. Because Casio watches do more than keep time. They keep you ahead of the game.
Do you use a dandruff shampoo? Tests show Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders. Blue is better. And for a limited time, Blue is free. Buy 1 7-ounce bottle of any formula Selsun Blue, get 1 free. See for yourself. Blue is better.
Early in the fourth quarter, Notre Dame leading 37-3. The National Hockey League season opens up Thursday night. You'll see it right here on Sports Channel America with an opening night doubleheader. The regional action in the first game, Detroit against New Jersey or Quebec against Hartford. Then the New York Islanders meet the Los Angeles Kings. Thursday night, it all starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, live on Sports Channel America. Hockey season, you knew that, Paul, didn't you?
Absolutely. Followed closely in Kentucky.
There's Levin on first down for a couple of yards. B.J. Hawkins, the Notre Dame back, a freshman out of Woodbridge, Virginia. McDougal, more a running quarterback. Hawkins was a drop-back passing quarterback in high school. And in fact, he's
2 for 20 touchdowns as a senior.
And he's out after one play. McDougal coming in. And if Rick Meyer ever did go down with some sort of an injury, I think this is the way Lou Holtz would approach it. He would shuttle quarterbacks depending on what he wanted to do in certain situations. McDougal. And he'll go outside for a couple of yards to the 30. And then a flag comes in late hitting on the play between Chris Burns up front for Purdue and Notre Dame's Aaron Taylor. So penalty goes against the Irish for a personal foul. And Lou Holtz doesn't like personal foul penalties, and I think that's why he wants to know who the culprit is. And he found out.
He's on his way out, too.
And the young man will hear about it.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Lou, third down.
Usually when those types of things happen, Lou Holtz will tell a player, and he'll tell him one time. That's the last time it will happen.
Well, Aaron Taylor better listen, because I think he's getting a little advice on the sideline right now.
Now the ball back to the 15-yard line. Notre Dame with third down and 20 win. We're early in the fourth quarter, 37-3 for the Irish. 3 receivers split right. McDougal, the quarterback. And he throws it out to Sean Davis. Nice spin. And McDougal completes his first pass to Sean Davis to the 26-yard line.
McDougal pass, complete to Davis. Tackled by Minner.
Tripp's right. You get a good look at it right here as Mr. McDougald completes his first little pass, a hook. Got two guys in the same zone here. Darcy Levins had hooked up in the same spot. Sean Davis on the reception.
So the third down completion, short of a first down, though. It'll be 4th and 10. And here's a big rush again, but Hendrick gets the punt away, and a good one. He booms this one out. Callaway back near his 20-yard line. And Reggie Brooks and Don Graham are down quickly on the punt cover team. And Purdue will take it over at their 28-yard line. 37-3. Notre Dame in control on this afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium. We'll return live on Sports Channel America after these messages.
Call now to have the sporting news delivered right to your mailbox every week at a big 46% saving off the cover price. Plus this full hour video cassette of the decade, baseball in the 80s. They're all here, all yours, all free.
Call 1-800-238-3100. Get your free video with 25 issues of the sporting news for 3 payments of just $9.96. Call now, 1-800-238-3100. That's 1-800-238-3100.
Sports Channel America is the home of the 7-day sports weekend. We've got the gridiron covered with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Canadian Football League. The Icemen reign supreme with our exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League, the U.S. Olympic Showcase, High School Game of the Week, Speedway Sunday, the Pro Boxing Tour, and much more. Sizzling professional and amateur sports 365 days a year. The 7-day sports weekend is here, only on the Sports Channel America Network.
With Paul Horning, Ted Robinson at Notre Dame Stadium live on Sports Channel America. We'll be right back here next Saturday. Same time, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Stanford and Notre Dame live on Sports Channel. Eric Hunter staying in for Purdue. First down at their own 28. Little dump pass out to Vincent, who's out of bounds, picks up about 5.
It puts him over 200 yards passing today. 14 out of 24 now for 206.
2 big pass plays for Purdue, accounting for a lot of that yardage. But you can see the running game for Purdue, which normally doesn't do much, has been non-existent today. And they haven't been able to stop the run. Yets in motion. Throwing it out here where it's caught. Danny Lounsbury with his first reception. That's a first down for Purdue at the 43. Sean Smith, 98 in for Notre Dame for the first time, makes the tackle. Seeing a lot of the very talented freshman class for Notre Dame getting some playing time in this game. They just had Oliver Gibson, who was one of the key high school players of the year, backing up Zorich at nose tackle. Just came off the field after playing a couple of downs. Hunter out, and that's incomplete. And the intended receiver right there, that man, if you think back a year, he started at quarterback for Purdue against Notre Dame last year. Steve Letnich from Valparaiso. He started the first 4 games for Purdue at quarterback and was replaced by Hunter, and now this year is playing as a slot receiver in the run and shoot. Second down and 10 now at the Purdue 43. Callaway, the man in motion. And the ball to Vincent. Lee Vincent out near midfield. Rod Smith making the tackle for the Irish, so Purdue will have third down and about 5. The Boilermakers open up the Big Ten schedule next week. They play Minnesota, a team that has struggled this year. And I think they feel a little bit better despite this game. They feel a little bit better with this man at the helm entering the Big Ten season this year than they have the last few years.
Well, you know, he's rated in the top 20 passing the football in the country. He's going to have over 800 yards already.
And there's Simeon again. Now that is going to be a flag. He threw that ball as he was going down. That made the difference. Simeon dragging him to the ground, and Hunter just spiked the ball, and that will be intentional grounding.
Ready, Akers. Watch Simeon. He beats a tackle easily on the outside. He gets a sack again. That's 2 hits in a row for Simeon on the quarterback.
But for the third consecutive
offense, lost it down, 4th down.
Possession, Purdue will be forced to punt. The Boilermakers have not crossed midfield in the second half. And they really haven't had the football very much in the second half. Ricky Waters back to field the punt from Bruin. Short man calls for the fair catch. It's George Poorman at the 30-yard line. So the fourth quarter will continue. We'll get a look at some of the young Notre Dame players who will make impacts down the road. Notre Dame leading here 37-3 as Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America continues after these messages.
My athlete's foot kept flaring up. I'd put it out and it'd just flare up again. Then my doctor told me about Tinactin. It cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly and it'll keep the fire from coming back.
Tinactin puts the fire out for good.
I'm State Farm agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
17 years ago, Oldsmobile offered the public the first airbag. So when other car companies proclaim their undying to your safety, remember who pioneered the airbag.
This is a new generation of Olds.
All Notre Dame today. 3 touchdowns in the second quarter for the Irish. The big play, a 64-yard touchdown run by Rocket Ismail.
And Rick Myers' consistent play continuing. 11 out of 17 in the air, 130 yards, 7 rushes for 49 yards and 1 touchdown.
Boy, Maryland hanging in there with Michigan. Surprising in the third quarter. McDougal, the quarterback, and the runner is freshman Willie Clark. And look at that. Now, that was a no-gain play, and that might be a Hall of Fame no-gain run. Freshman Willie Clark from Wheatland, California. 4 scores at Boston College. Holding on over Navy in West Virginia. Very surprising score.
And Virginia now easing away from William and Mary. It was pretty close at halftime. Now they got an 28-point lead, 4-touchdown lead now. Virginia easily.
McDougal, the quarterback. That's Sean Davis going in motion. And a jump there on the right side of the offensive line. Movement by Peter Rausch. We'll bring it back. On that offensive line for Notre Dame, a couple of freshmen of note. 75, Aaron Taylor, whom we saw a few moments ago receive a personal foul penalty. And now playing center for Notre Dame, number 61. You see him in the middle of the huddle.
Encroachment. Offense. 2nd down.
Number 61 is a freshman named Tim Ruddy from Dunmore, Pennsylvania. Tim Ruddy came to Notre Dame with an SAT score of 1470. Out of a possible 1,600. He can bench press nearly 500 pounds. He would have started the opening game had Mike Helt been hurt. This is Matt Johnson, a walk-on, running outside. He'll gain a couple of yards before he's knocked down by Jim Schwantz. Matt Johnson from Kokomo, Indiana. He is a walk-on quarterback who's done a great job running the scout teams. And Lou Holtz rewarding him, right, with some playing time.
Absolutely.
Johnson gets the play from Ray Griggs with 8.5 minutes remaining.
He's clearing the bench, I'll tell you that. The whole fourth quarter has been played.
104 Notre Dame players in uniform.
They're going to they're all going to play today.
And Johnson going to throw a ball, and it is incomplete. Skipped it into Ray Griggs. So that'll bring up 4th down, and the Irish will punt. Well, nothing else Matt Johnson will be able to say someday through a pass on this field at Notre Dame Stadium.
I was thinking the same thing, Ted. I said, you know, it's just amazing. Here's a walk-on, gets a play at Notre Dame Stadium. You don't care what the score is. You don't care who he's playing. He'll remember this the rest of his life. Wonderful experience. And a great reward for a lot of hard work. You know, the guys that unheard of in college football are these guys that walk on and play against the first and second teamers and give them a good look each week, the opposing teams. They love it.
Callaway running back the punt, and he's brought down about the 38-yard line. And that'll bring us to a timeout. 7 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the game. Notre Dame on its way to a 3-0 record as they lead Purdue 37-3. We'll return on Sports Channel America after these messages.
Casio presents some of the hottest new faces in sports. He's 7'1", standing still, but when he lifts off, that's another story. He goes basket to basket in seconds flat. And energy, he's got plenty to burn. David Robinson and Casio, because Casio watches do more than keep time. They keep you ahead of the game.
Oh. Got a cold? Gotta feel better? You've got to get relief with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine.
It works. It's fast. It works fast.
When you've got to get relief fast, you got to get Alka-Seltzer Plus. And now, for sinus and allergy relief, try new Alka-Seltzer Plus sinus allergy medicine.
All Notre Dame this week with an easy lead here over Purdue in the 4th quarter. Next week shouldn't be quite this easy. The Stanford Cardinal, improving under Coach Dennis Green, will be here. And we'll be here as well, live on Sports Channel America and many of these stations next Saturday at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Check your local listings for further details in your area. Stanford walloped Oregon State easily last week. They are playing San Jose State today. And here next week. Hunter with a quick drop, hits Jimmy Young out for a couple of yards. And there it's really the run and shoot, and we haven't had a chance to develop it as much today because it hasn't been on the field very much, but the run and shoot really takes away that short running game, and that becomes your short running game.
Exactly. The guy who started was, or at least given credit for the birth of the run and shoot, was a guy named Mouse Davis, and he was a coach down in Houston, especially in the old USFL days when they had a quarterback by the name of Jim Kelly.
Not bad.
And I want to tell you, it was exciting to watch. When it's when you have the people, when you have the right talent, boy, I tell you, it's an exciting offense to watch. You're not seeing it performed in that way yet.
And it's only the 3rd game for this team running it this year. Earl Coleman made that catch. With Paul Horning, Ted Robinson at Notre Dame Stadium. Live coverage of Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America. And it's been all Irish. A big day on the ground, better than 300 yards rushing in Notre Dame with a 37-3 lead. 7 minutes remain. And Purdue in Notre Dame territory for the first time in the second half. And wide open is McManus, and Hunter has him to the 25.
Let me tell you how much this kid impresses me, Ted. He's got a wonderful arm. He's good release, stands up tall here, looks over his receivers, can go to his secondary receivers, and he's got a good touch. That was right over the zone, and see, he's got nice poise back there.
Oh, McManus out of Benton Harbor, Michigan, who didn't play at all last year with a knee injury. Has the grab, and it's first down at the 25. And that's off the hands of Jeff Hill. Incomplete. There's a true freshman playing. Again, you don't see that happen very often with Big Ten schools. True freshman out of Cincinnati.
Well, they were really the last conference to go to the redshirt rule. And most of your schools today, you know, incoming freshmen, they know they're going to be redshirt. Very few, except here, Duke, a few other schools.
There's your time remaining. The Boilermakers trying to get a touchdown. He got one at the very end of the game last year to prevent a Notre Dame shutout. There's a pass that is almost intercepted. Nope, short hopped into Reggie Brooks at the 10-yard line. And it will be third down.
Take a look. Quick post over here on the inside. Would have been a great catch. The man was open. He was too a little in front of him.
5 defensive backs in for the Irish on third down and 10. Hunter pressured, and he throws that one short, and it is caught nicely, but short of the stick. McManus coming back to the ball to make that grab. But that will leave them with fourth down and 2 at the 17-yard line.
Junior Bryant putting pressure on for Notre Dame, sophomore from Omaha. I think it was Junior Bryant, number 95. A little stun on the left side.
Timeout, Purdue.
Right there.
So Purdue now taking a timeout with 5:59 remaining. They have 4th and 2. At the Irish 17, Notre Dame football on Sports Channel America returns after these messages.
If you want to see Ghostbusters 2, it's on both Showtime and HBO. But Showtime has Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Parenthood. HBO doesn't. Showtime. Here you see them, there you don't.
Planning. Where to get the capital to start this business with my daughter? By investing for the long haul. And forget full commission brokers. I call Charles Schwab. Munis, mutual funds, blue chips, and I save plenty with Schwab's low commissions. Every day I tell my daughter, think long term. Make your own decisions. Be your own man.
For a free Schwab Fact Kit, call toll-free 800-841-0300.
The competition is fierce and the action non-stop. Take a seat at center ice and check out the world's best hockey players on the network home of the National Hockey League. Catch an opening night doubleheader only on the Sports Channel America Network Thursday.
Oh, there weren't many days, Paul Horning, that Fred Akers watched games like this at Texas. It's got to be a tough adjustment for him.
It really is. He's been a winning coach for a long, long time, and he arrived at Purdue. And this has been strange to him. There's no question about it.
4th and 2, a blitz on Hunter, but he gets it away, and a pass is dropped by Coleman coming out of the backfield. So Purdue beat the blitz, but Coleman could not hold on to the football, and Notre Dame will go over on down.
Well, you must come up with this catch. Watch the blitz from the right of your screen. Everybody's coming here, and they don't block anybody. It's just that quarterback, it's automatic. You just got to float it out there to the back because everybody's blitzing out of that area. You must make that catch.
So the Irish take over at 5:55 to play. McDougal stays in as the quarterback. Ryan Mahalko is the back behind him. Levins, Adrian Jarrell, Blake Dawson all split wide to the right. And Mahalko carries up the middle, a big burst, and Ryan Mahalko carries for a first down. Out to the 28-yard line.
Good blocking up front as we see Ryan Mahalko, fullback, just put that right shoulder down, take on Nat Martin, get the first down.
Out of New Hampshire, he's kind of fun. He's a throwback player. Wears a crew cut, runs there with both hands over the ball. Florida winning over Mississippi State today. This is Kenny Spears on the carry. And Spears gets about 2 yards. Kenny Spears, a very highly regarded running back out of Atlanta, Georgia. When he came to Notre Dame, he missed last year with because of academics, and I believe that's the first time. Yes, it is. The first time he's carried a football at Notre Dame.
Willie Clark is in there, tailback now.
And that is him on the carry, and Clark gets a couple of yards. Everybody's playing today.
That's right. They got a strong safety playing the up back in the eye. Well, Shane Sadler is listed as a strong safety. He's playing fullback now.
Well, this is the type of day, too. You're not sure you can trust your numbers. They may be switching and swapping some jerseys down there. That's happened before. With, of course, 104 players in uniform, you've got duplicate numbers being worn. 4:10 to play, and it's 3rd down and 6 for the Irish. McDougal, and that's a drop. Levins had it, got belted by Nat Martin, and did not hang on. So it'll bring up 4th down.
Pretty good pitch here. Good strong arm here, right on the button. That right ball was on the money. Good pitch by McDougal. Levins got leveled. Couldn't hold on to it.
Purdue, with this spread rush formation, has gotten close to the punter today. They've blocked a lot of kicks, 3 of them last week. Notre Dame blocks well there. And Trick booms one. Oh! Callaway way back to his 5-yard line. And good coverage by Notre Dame. Flag goes down. Look at Callaway get out of trouble. Out to 25, but a flag down back at the 10-yard line. Well, you see a punt like that, you know why Notre Dame people say they hate the word, but potentially Hendrick is as fine a kicker as this school's ever had.
Exactly, and he's still young, and a 63-yard punt proves that. Not that he's young, but that he's a great punter. This kid can kick it.
Flipping penalty against Purdue, and it gives us a chance to thank the staffs of these schools for their help today. From Purdue, Athletic Director George King, Coach Fred Akers, the Director of Athletic Public Relations Jim Brujink, and Sports Information Director Mark Adams. At Notre Dame, Athletic Director Dick Rosenthal, Associate Athletic Director Roger Baldessari, Coach Lou Holtz, Sports Information Director John Heisler, and Associate Sports Information Director Jim Daves. College with the win over Navy. Navy, another future Notre Dame opponent at the Meadowlands in November. Purdue starting at the 5-yard line. Eric Hunter going to the finish here. And Callaway's open. Big yardage. Oh, he may go here. And George Portman with the angle gets him out, but that is a huge play. 58 yards down to the Notre Dame 37.
Nice touch again by Eric Hunter. Watch him. He just goes back. Hangs right in the end zone. That's just all arm and touch. I tell you, he just threw it. Didn't even step forward. He just got that good, strong arm. George Portman knocks him out of bounds.
Funny thing is, Eric Hunter may pass for 300 yards today, but it could be about the least effective 300 yards you'd ever see. That's a big plays. But down here is where it gets a little tougher. It was not, doesn't seem like that long ago. 1977, Mark Herman was the Purdue quarterback against Notre Dame at West Lafayette, passed for about 350 yards. Which that time was a Purdue record. Boy, look at that in the first quarter.
Don't worry about that. That team, it doesn't matter how far they get behind, they've got a shot. The way they throw it.
Hunter, 317 yards already today. Doesn't seem that way, does it?
No, sir.
Come on, Eric, all day, baby.
Going up top, he has a wide open man at the goal line, and it's caught for a touchdown.
Boy, he got hit too. Great catch.
Curtis McManus caught it for a touchdown. He paid the price.
Oh, I tell you, just a little bit slow. The ball was a little slow arriving, but I tell you what concentration here by Curtis McManus. The second touchdown of the year. He had 7 catches coming in, and watch this ball. Takes a long time to get there, but there he does. He splits his zone on the right side here, and he's wide open. But right here, he gets sandwiched, and did he get hit?
John Covington, 29, a freshman with a big belt.
And he's had 3 or 4 big belts on special teams today also. John Covington really give him a hit, and he held on to the football. You got to give him credit, Ted. That was a very, very good catch under trying circumstances. If you get hit that hard, 8 out of 10 times you cough it up.
And Purdue will go for 2 points here at 3:23 remaining. And Hunter throwing for it, and he has it. 2 points to Callaway. So the Boilermakers get on the board, at least into the end zone. They had a first half field goal from Sullivan. And now the long touchdown pass to make it 37-11. 95 yards on 2 big pass plays for Purdue. And Hunter now is over. From him. He's over 350 yards.
Yeah, you're going to hear from him in the Big Ten. I'll tell you, he hang in there. He's a tough kid. He takes a good whack. And like I said, he got hit by Kowalkowski in the first half, where a normal quarterback is going to be gone. He's out.
Let's put this in perspective a little bit. 350 yards for Hunter today. 1977, as I'm saying, I was at West Lafayette. Joe Montana's great comeback game there. Mark Herman passed for 351 yards against Notre Dame. That was at that time an all-time Purdue record and an opponent's record against Notre Dame. Okay. Now Hunter becomes the 10th player in a game to surpass that mark in the last only 13 years. Talk about how football has changed. Now the passing game has opened up. Herman record 13 years ago. It's been broken 10 times, and that's something.
And the all-time record for throwing the football as far as a quarterback was what? Scott Campbell. He was over 500 yards passing. I know that's the number one. 350 yards in an afternoon. That's sensational.
Notre Dame with the hands team now. They're expecting the onside kick from Wombold. And a little short lob over the front line, and the Irish let it bounce. That's a free football, and it is covered by Ismail back at the 23-yard line. 3:23 to play at Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame leading 37-11. And after recovering the lob kickoff over the front line of defenders, the Irish will start at their 23-yard line. B.J. Hawkins, freshman, will come into quarterback first down on this series. Last time Purdue beat Notre Dame was 1985 at West Lafayette. Jim Everett quarterbacking that Purdue team. The last time the Boilermakers won here was 1974. Major upset of Ara Parsegian's last Irish team. Hawkins keeping it, getting it out near first down.
That was a run all the way. Everybody was downfield blocking. Roll out right.
Trent Decatur, 39 on the tackle for Purdue, and that is a first down, 11-yard run for Hawkins. You look on the field, look at how many young players and freshmen, particularly true freshmen, playing for Notre Dame in major college football.
Give it to Spears.
There's Spears, and he runs it out to the 40-yard line.
Kenny Spears.
There's a kid we mentioned was a extremely highly regarded recruit. And on the Notre Dame depth chart, he's about 4th string right now because of some injuries. He's fighting his way back from, but he has tough competition. Second down now at the 41-yard line with 2:20 to play. 37-11, Notre Dame.
Go. Little Mahako up the middle.
And that'll play. First down. So that run should allow Notre Dame to just about run out the game clock now. First down at 2:12 to play. And Lou Holtz feeling pretty good about the way his team has run the football today. And Fred Akers will probably wonder why he couldn't stop the run a little bit better than they did today. Bettis carries for Notre Dame. Now the question, of course, this week will be to continue to work on the pass coverage There were a lot of open receivers today for Purdue. Not much damage done by the passes, as we mentioned, but a lot of open men, and you've got a team that's probably a little better passing team. Clearly, Stanford has better receivers.
You know, I've noticed in the
Purdue.
first 3 games, though, Notre Dame not really a blitzing team per se, but when they do blitz, it's successful. They really get after the quarterback, Kowalkowski, and a lot of people in the first 3 games. When they do blitz, it may not be a blitzing team per se, as I said, but when they do, they have success with it. So I think you may see Notre Dame in the future go with a few more blitzes because they're successful really harassing the quarterback with it.
The executive producer of Notre Dame football is Jeff Ruhe. The coordinating producer, David Hoffman. Today's game produced by Paul Carlson, directed by Mike Sheehan. And the rest of our outstanding crew on board almost every week with us on Notre Dame football. I was talking to Gary Darnell yesterday, the defensive coordinator for the Irish, and that's one of the things he was mentioning, though, is that you don't want to get, the word he used was cute. And he felt one of the things that hurt Washington and allowed Purdue to play them close, Washington got very cute. And
meaning they
a lot of blitzing, and stunning, and tricks up front that wound up hurting more than helping.
Well, if you do blitz, you do open yourself up for the big play. If somebody breaks one tackle, it's a big play.
Here's a reverse to Willie Clark. Clark with, again, some good movement. No gain on the play, though, right back to midfield. And Purdue stops the clock for, I believe, their final time. Now I believe we have an injury. Let's see. This may not be an official, or maybe an official timeout, not a charged one. No, it is. Charged to Purdue, which will be their last at 1:26, with a 3rd and 5 coming up for Notre Dame. Stanford next week, and again the drastic change in opponents that Notre Dame faces every week. They go from Purdue and Stanford passing. They'll see the wishbone of Air Force, and then they get right back with Miami and their outstanding throwing game. On a day like this, there aren't many beautiful sights than looking out beyond the north end zone at Notre Dame Stadium to the Memorial Library. Campus undergoing an awful lot of construction right now. Major construction to help the academic programs at Notre Dame. A huge engineering complex is being constructed just outside the football stadium. And
ever-changing around here.
The Hesburgh Peace Institute for Father Hesburgh, named after Father Hesburgh, was in attendance today. That's nearing construction. If you haven't been to this campus in a while and you come for a game this year, you're probably going to have a tough time finding your old dorm. 3rd and 5 at midfield for Notre Dame. McDougal to run the option. Pitching it to Bettis, and Jerome Bettis, putting his head down, runs into the 46-yard line. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down. McNeil on the tackle for Purdue. And there are 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining. Notre Dame will let the clock run here and probably go for it in the attempts of just being able to run the clock out.
Gotta get this first down and be all over.
Herb Smith bringing the play in, Notre Dame tight end. They're going to have to hurry up to get this play off.
Oh, they're just holding the huddle.
They're not going to take a timeout. 1 second on the play clock, and Notre Dame takes a timeout. You saw a very deceiving statistic there, that total yardage.
Lou said he was going to have some fun today, didn't he? He said, I'm going to have some fun tomorrow. And he said, told his team, I hope you have fun, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to relax and have some fun tomorrow.
He was very pleased that this week was an excellent week of practice. It's a tough week because you come off 2 hard-fought football games, and now you feel like, at least by Notre Dame's schedule standards, this might be a little lighter week. And
well, they won't look at it like that.
No,
though, see,
but that's the strength of this team.
Cannot. And this is not the kind of a football team that can sit back and relax. It's not that good. It maybe could be that good at the end of the year, Ted, but anybody on their schedule, if they play one of the great football games and catch Notre Dame a little bit flat. Could be very, very competitive, and Notre Dame could come out on the losing end of a score. I don't care what their rating is. They've got to be ready week to week.
44 seconds left, 4th down and a yard, and that will be a first down for Jerome Bettis from Detroit, Michigan. What a recruiting coup that is for Notre Dame. Rated the #1 player in Michigan. Michigan wanted him as a tailback. Notre Dame accepted him, and he's playing fullback here. That tells you something.
Well, a fullback position here is almost like a tailback. You get to be the remaining back in a lot of offensive plays, as Rodney Culver is leading the team in rushing, and that'll be Bettis' position in the future.
P.J. Hawkins in on that play, but Notre Dame did not get it off in time. So they'll lose 5 yards, but snap it once more, and that will do it for this game. And give
offense, first down.
Give Notre Dame a 5th consecutive win over the Boilermakers in Lou Holtz's tenure. And Notre Dame continues its fine streak against the Big Ten. Shot put the ball out incomplete with 8 seconds remaining. Intended for Martin Scruggs in front of the Purdue bench. Now Notre Dame has 2 players wearing the same number in the huddle there. Now, that's interesting. You have 2 number 20s. Now, I have no idea which. They have 2 20s listed. And I have no idea which one is which. Martin Scruggs and Lamar Guillory. One of them is lined up as the tailback, and the other one's lined up split wide right. So that one's got the ball.
Guillory's the tailback.
Guillory, all right. Lamar Guillory. That's a first. I can honestly tell you I've never seen that happen. But it's over at Notre Dame Stadium, and the Irish with a convincing win today as they defeat Purdue 37-11. The handshake with Lou Holtz and Fred Akers. Paul Hornung and I will be back with post-game comments from Notre Dame Stadium live right after these messages.
If you want to see Ghostbusters 2, it's on both Showtime and HBO. But Showtime has Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Parenthood. HBO doesn't. Showtime. Here you see them, there you don't.
We're here at an athletic shoe store to see people's reactions to this sneaker phone from Sports Illustrated. Now, the only thing is, we're not going to show it to them. We're going to let them discover it for themselves. Come on.
The sneaker's ringing. Can't believe it.
You like that?
Yeah.
A sneaker phone, that's great.
Presenting the sneaker phone, only from Sports Illustrated. And it's yours free with your paid subscription to SI. It has push-button dialing, mute button, automatic redial, an on-off switch, and of course it plugs into a standard jack.
How much? It's free. Free?
The SI sneaker phone is yours free when you subscribe to 30 issues of Sports Illustrated for 3 low monthly installments of $14.97. That's over 45% off the cover price. So call now. The subscription includes the NFL and NBA previews, the year-end double issue, and the revealing 1991 swimsuit issue. So call now to subscribe to Sports Illustrated and get the sneaker phone free.
Hello? That's great.
1-900-896-2333. The Sports Channel America Sports Hotline for all the scores.
In a 3-2 overtime thriller.
For sports news.
Some big free agent signings today.
1-900-896-2333 is all you need. 24 hours a day, every day. Get late-breaking results and news on your favorite sport.
For basketball, press 1 now.
1-900-896-2333. The Sports Channel America Sports Hotline. Call today.
The fiery rage of a kickboxer, the unstoppable force of leather-fisted warriors, and the unbridled fury of pro wrestling. Non-stop action on Feet, Fists, and Fury. See it Monday nights only on Sports Channel America.
An easy win for Notre Dame. Paul Horning, do you think they played better today as Lou Holtz thought they would?
I think so. I think they were a lot more relaxed against a football team that actually they were more confident going into. They knew you had to feel this was going to be an easier game, and it was. Lou Holtz has got to be happy with Rick Meyer. The Rocket got into the end zone. Defense played better. Overall, it was a good performance for the Irish.
Over 500 yards of offense. Notre Dame rolling easily. 37-11, the final score as the Irish defeat Purdue at Notre Dame Stadium. And we'll be back with more post-game commentary, but we pause now for a regional break.
Get the latest results and information from the world of motorsports. It's Speedway Sunday, exclusively on the Sports Channel America Network.
Every time Jim Thompson and Jim Edgar raise our taxes, they say it's for education, but the share for education keeps going down. While we've been buying lottery tickets and paying more in taxes, they've been taking even more money out for their pet projects. It's time to stop their shell game and stop using kids to raise taxes. Neil Hardigan has hammered out a detailed plan to cut millions in waste from the bureaucracy and get those savings into the classrooms.